Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. This is the Manchester United versus Southampton watch-along. I've just moved over from one video to this, see how quickly we can do it. But I hope you're all well. Team news is about to come in. In fact, some of you might be able to give it me. Very, very busy on the United Stand tonight, but hopefully it'll all make sense and we can crack on with the thing that really matters now, which is the football. Why are you not working? Okay, we need to get the live comments up and working. I've got to tweet it out. I've got to get Skype open to get Ross on. Lots and lots happening, but hey ho, here she go. We go a little too high, we go a little too low. That's working, which is great. Hello again, Jojo. That was fast, Mark, says Ryan Allen. Yeah. It's about the football. It's not about that nonsense we were just talking about. So it is about the football, and we are live. Let me get a couple of things done while I'm talking to you. If anyone wants to tweet the team news out, remember this is your channel as well. We're all in it together, so let's do it. I'm not going to F off. I'm going to get over onto the team news. It's not quite out. It'll be any second, so that's good. That gives me a little bit of time. And let me get this done as well. Team news is in. We're live. Thank you. We are live. We're Manchester United, exceptionally. So, I'm quite excited about this game. It's not exactly the game I thought it was going to be. I've got to be totally honest. Kieran, was that a message from? Oh no, that's not from now. I'm lost. Metaphor there. It's not exactly the game I thought it was going to be because I thought we might be picking a certain team, but the lineup is out. So let's do that. Mad Marcus is with me. Marcus, apologies. It's been a very busy day, but hopefully you are going to join me in a bit. That would be good. I'm just typing out the team news. Help! Okay, team news is Romero in goal, Bailly, Jones, Smalling, Darmian, Tuanzebe, Fellaini, Mata, Rooney, Mkhitaryan, Martial. Subs, Pereira, Mitchell, McTominay, Carrick, and Herrera, Lingard, Rashford. I'm actually quite surprised by that team. So Romero in goal, Bailly, Jones, Smalling, Darmian is the back four I thought it would be. Tuanzebe in the midfield with Fellaini. I would say probably Rooney's in there as well. Mata on the right, Mkhitaryan on the left, Martial up front. I thought he would play Rashford, which is interesting. There's a couple of things that are quite interesting about that team. I don't know what you lot think, but what interests me most about that team is that I would have thought the common sense thing to do in this game was to get Herrera and Rashford some time. And here's Ross. Cool. Ross, can you hear me? I haven't got to hear because I haven't got my earpiece in. It's bedlam. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Mark, you alright?
Yeah, I'm good. Team news in. I was just about to say then, and then you can give you your thoughts. I was just about to say, what does surprise me slightly is that no Rashford and Herrera. Not a problem with that, but I would have played them tonight just to give them the full week off before the final. I don't really see why we'd want to play them on Sunday because it's a bit close to the final, could pick up a knock or something like that. I would have played everybody I want to play in the final tonight, given them a week off. If he's not going to play them on Sunday, I think it's a bad idea to give them 2 weeks off. I think tonight was the optimum time to play the team. And I know he can't play Pogba and Valencia and Blind, but I'm surprised he's not. Avatar Sidhu says, shitty team news. I can't take it anymore. Stay with us, Avatar. Don't lose it. But I'm slightly surprised. I'm not disappointed because I don't think the game really matters other than Martial and Mata again. I think hopefully they'll have good games. But any thoughts on the team?
It's strange, to be honest. When I first started reading it, I was really excited by it, to be honest, because I was like, wow, is this the team we're going to play in the Cup final? Because, like you were probably saying, I thought we'd play our Cup final team today. Obviously, there's no De Gea in the squad, which I find really surprising.
We did know that last night. I don't know whether you'd picked it up, but yeah.
I had no. Well, why was he not in the squad?
Just hasn't travelled. And apparently
crazy.
Pereira's going to play. I mean, this is why I said last night De Gea's gone, and I'm not happy
Yeah.
about the way he's been treated. But yeah, he didn't travel with the squad, so that's not.
I'm late to that, but yeah, well, that's disappointing. Well, we've seen the last of De Gea. But yeah, do you know what? I really, really want to see Martial again. I thought he was fantastic against. I forgot who he played last game, but it'll come to me in a minute.
Spurs.
Spurs, that's it. It was fantastic against Spurs. Set up Rooney's goal, and I really want to see Mata as well because I think they're the two that can push their way into our cup final team. The rest of them, I think Mkhitaryan, Darmian, Smalling, Jones are all going to play anyway. Fellaini's going to play. So I think it's a big one for Mata and Martial, and they need to. I mean, I think Martial turned a corner against Spurs. I think he showed quite a lot of desire, but apart from the desire, he showed his talent as well, which is what we need to see from him. And anything to push Jesse Lingard out of our cup final team is a positive for me. So yeah, I get what you mean about Rashford and Herrera, but I think they are the two professional players that could quite easily deal with 2 weeks off and it not affect them. Pogba the same, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jesse Lingard's being totally wrapped in cotton wool for the final. Some would say I hope he smothers himself, but that's harsh. He's obviously not even on the squad today. Oh no, he's on the bench. He's on the bench. Oh, I thought we'd got away with that, but I'm with you. The only slight disappointment for me is that. Let me just count the subs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. Team news is up along the bottom of the screen for those who've not seen it. The only thing that disappoints me slightly is that Martial's playing up front. I thought he was so good on the wing. Play him on the wing, because then we can play him on the wing in the final. But I can't see Martial starting in the final. And you said that, to be fair, before the Spurs game. No matter what he does, you don't feel he can force his way into the team, which is why I'd like to see him playing on the left.
He could still play on the left, mate. I wouldn't put it past. It wouldn't be past Rooney to play up front because actually Rooney looks better up front than he does anywhere on the pitch because he gets the ball less. So it wouldn't surprise me. And I think it was a United fan comment a few weeks ago saying that he never puts the forward as the last player on a team lineup because Zlatan's always been one from the end. So you never know. It could be Rooney. And I'm with you, Mark. I hope it is Rooney up front because I want to see Martial on the left because that's what he's auditioning for to replace Jesse Lingard in our team. Yes.
They obviously playing Jones and Smalling. It's a big game for them. But the most interesting, we should talk about this. I'm quite surprised Tuanzebe started against Spurs, started today. He's played more minutes than Fosu Mensah this season now, which is interesting, isn't it? But we want to see the youth, and Mourinho. I did say Mourinho won't really use the youth, and I still wanted him to come to the club. When he does, he's got to be commended. And Tuanzebe has officially played more minutes. Well, he did even in the Spurs game. He's only played 20 minutes, Fosu Mensah this year in the Premier League. But Tuanzebe, another start and playing in the midfield, which is interesting.
Well, just quickly on Fosu Mensah, if he ever got himself in the bad books with Jose from getting injured, I think the way he's bounced back from it is fantastic, and he knows how to work his way into the good books because there's talks of him being fit for the Europa League final. Whether we're getting the squad is a different matter, but to even just declare himself fit for it, I think is fantastic. But yeah, Tuanzebe is brilliant. Obviously, he's not a centre midfielder, even though he played there. He played as a man marker. It'd be interesting to see where he plays today, to be honest. If he is actually playing as a midfielder, but it just shows that the games that he's played, he's obviously done the task that Jose's asked him to do. Whether it's right or wrong that we wanted him to do them tasks, he's done them, and that's why we're seeing a lot of him, which is great, to be honest, because it shows discipline. And I think, we might not. There'll be a lot of people angry at seeing him out of position again today, but we all know he's a talented defender, and a lot of it now is about discipline and can Jose trust him. And he might throw him a few tests. He might play him at right back. He might play him in midfield. But as long as he passes these tests, the trust to be there, and we can maybe look past Michael Keane and put our faith in Tuanzebe.
Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, what are the chances, do you think, of Tuanzebe and everybody at home get Cummington and that's it, actually, because I'd like to see what everybody thinks. I know what I think, but what are the chances of Tuanzebe playing in the final, do you think? I would have said slim a couple of weeks ago, but he's using him a lot at the moment.
He is, and do you know what? If Jones or Smalling have another shocker today, I'd put his name on the team sheet, and I think Jose would as well.
A centre back.
Yeah, I think Jones and Smalling are being tested. That's why they're playing back-to-back games. I think they need the games. Smalling, we know, has got the talent. I think I have faith in him, to be honest. And we know, I think we'll still have Smalling come next season. I think Jones is a massive question mark at the minute. He takes ages to come back from an injury. I know, look, he did have a great few games over Christmas, whatever, with Rojo, but he was pretty much, he's pretty much injury-free for about 3 months prior to that, and he was eased back into the team. He looks completely out of sorts to me. He looks like he's, someone who just doesn't know how to defend, which is shocking, really. So, massive auditions for them. And any slip-up for me will write that player's name out of the team lineup for the final.
Yes. Let's have a look at what people are saying. If Lingard starts the final, we'll lose, says Stav OK. Jones is off, mate, says Max's Chicken. Mark, name your team you would play in the final, said Mogsy21. We did it at the weekend, didn't we, Ross? I can't remember. I mean, let's just see if we can remember it. It was, I think, De Gea in goal, which it won't be because it'll be Romero. Obviously, Valencia, I think we went Smalling and Blind. I remember we went with Smalling and Blind. Left back was Darmian. Midfield 3, I didn't go with this. I had to bow down to the 2 against 1. It was definitely Herrera, Pogba and Fellaini. I would have gone Herrera, Pogba and Mata. And then we went with Rashford up front, Martial on the left, Mkhitaryan on the right. Was that right? Or did we put Mata in?
Alex went for what you just said. I put Mata in instead of Lingard and put Martial on the bench. And I forgot what you said. I think we were all different on the front three.
Yeah, well, my front 6 after that defence would be Herrera, Pogba, Mata, Mkhitaryan on the right, Martial on the left, Rashford up front.
I see. Yeah.
Ross would be Herrera, Pogba, Fellaini, Mata on the right, Mkhitaryan on the left, Rashford up front. And I think Alex, he's not here, don't matter. I think Alex wanted to play Alex wanted to play Lingard up front and Rooney. Yes, he did. Yes, he didn't. We've seen the best and worst of Smalling. I just hope he hits some good form. Look, I let's talk about Smalling for a minute. I know it annoys everybody, but I actually don't think he's as bad as people think. I don't think he's as good as I'd like him to be, but I certainly don't think he's as bad as people think. He's still our best centre-back in the air, and I'll argue that with anybody. He is. Yeah, he's clumsy, but for 90 minutes, he has got it in him, Ross, to put a good performance in. And if we're talking about the final, I think it's really important that Smalling comes out on top over Jones tonight, because I know it's not a massive choice to make, but it's got to be Smalling over Jones for me. I think Jones, since the 2 injuries he had this season, he had a good run with Rojo, then he had a really bad run and got injured again. I just think he's an absolute accident waiting to happen, Phil Jones, and he looked overweight and he looked like a player still injured at the weekend for me.
Yeah, he makes Wayne Rooney look thin at the minute, to be honest. And I think the way Rojo was playing, anyone would have played well with him. I thought he was the best centre back in the league at the time. But I see what you mean by Smalling. He has the talent, and we saw it last season. We just haven't seen a lot of it this season. And my only issue is with Smalling, for me, and I might be wrong here, but from my memory of him, he seems to bottle big games. And he did it against Chelsea. He was horrendous, and he got sent off in the cup final last year. I know it was. I was pleased that he did get sent off because we would have conceded, but at the same time, he shouldn't have got isolated that bad. It was dreadful. So I worry about Smalling in the big moments in big games, and you don't need that in the centre back. Where if we'd had Bailly there, I'd back him in the big moments, and that's my issue. I think he has to start the final regardless. I would question Phil Jones. I'd rather play Daley Blind. And Alex raised a good point in the group. I think he raised it actually on the Sunday show, that Smalling and Blind are a partnership. I don't think Smalling and Jones have really ever played much football together for Manchester United. When they have, one of them gets injured within 10 minutes. But Smalling and Blind had a really good run last year as a partnership, and they worked really well. So they could work for the final.
Yes. We need some pace and not chicken Lingard. It's quite interesting, actually. It's quite interesting. I don't know whether people have realised this, because I know a lot of you watch the watch-alongs, which is fantastic, and please do that. But some people should say I probably shouldn't mention this, but I want to mention it because I know a lot of you can't always watch the game, and the Europa League final next week is being shown live on YouTube. Now, that could impact on our watch-along figures, but I have faith in the loyal United Stand army that you will still tune in for the watch-along, because we will be live earlier than normal building up for it. I don't know what time kickoff is, Ross, but if it's 8 o'clock or 6:45, we'll go live at about 6. We'll go live a couple of hours before. We'll get some of the regulars on. We'll probably take some of your calls and stuff, and we'll really build it up. But it's live on YouTube, the game, next week, so everybody can watch it. What I would suggest you do is open up 2 browsers, mute Michael Owen, and just listen to us, and sync the 2. That's what I think you should do. But yeah, so everybody can watch it next week. It's going to be great. Do we have Borthwick Jackson back now? I'd have him at left back. Dan Butterworth asked that. It's a question ridiculously. It's very hard to find the answer to. I don't know whether he's back or not, is the honest answer. What if we bottle the EFL final, Arif? Well, we were talking about this on Sunday after we'd finished the show. Obviously, after every watch-along, I more or less end it straight away to go and do a match reaction. Whatever happens on the Europa League final, we'll stay on the watch-along for about an hour afterwards, maybe longer. Because 1, if we win it, it's fantastic. 2, if we don't win it, Ross, I think there'll be a lot to be said.
Absolutely, mate. And I'm pleased that you're going to go live a little bit earlier, because I plan to have 1 or 2 drinks on that day, because if we lose, I can drown my sorrows, and if we win, I can roar in celebration. But I'm going to be an absolute nervous wreck. I think it's going to be the most nervous I've ever been watching a Manchester United game. Not because of the prize at stake. Well, yeah, because of the prize at stake. Because I think another season of Champions League, it won't doom us, but it will massively hinder our progress of what I've seen this season.
Yes, I'd agree. I mean, to be honest with you, if we don't win the Europa League final, it'll be a bit like when you find out Santa's not real. It will take a hell of a lot of time to get over, and it's going to hurt a hell of a lot. And there may well be tears. I mean, I don't want to contemplate it. It's a reality, and some would say it's naive not to face up to that possibility. But I have to believe that we'll win, because I don't want to spend a second of my life thinking about what that's going to be like if we aren't in the Champions League, because I think it's inexcusable. I really do. And I don't want to talk about the Premier League because we are finishing in 6th. But we should have got we know the points we've dropped. I don't want to go over those points again. But it will be totally on us if we don't get Champions League football, because we should have got it through the league. We've got to get it through the Europa League. But yeah, I fully accept those who are worried. I'm just going to try hard not to think about it, and hopefully it will never happen. CJ Gilday says, what do you mean, Mark? Santa isn't real. I've done it again. To be honest with you, I have probably done it again, because I had somebody message me the other day and say, Mark, really love your shows, but I watch it with my 5-year-old son. And I've just genuinely realised what I've just said is probably not... I hope that 5-year-old's not watching. He is real. He's real. He is real. Why would they make films about him if he wasn't real? Spider-Man. Santa's not... Yeah, David, thanks. Okay, very big game for Smalling, says Troy Scott. If Griezmann comes, does Mata sit on the bench, says Brian. That's one for the summer. Ryan's a big fan of Phil Jones. And Nathan James, Manchester United are interested in signing Michael Keane, Sky Sources. Oh, God. I tell you what, there's nearly 1,700 of you watching here, and I think Ross will have an opinion on this. In fact, I'll let Ross do it. But Sky Sports breaking news, it doesn't mean anything anymore. It really doesn't mean anything. It probably used to a few years ago, but they've gone right down the pan with their researchers and where they get the news from, Ross, in my opinion. I mean, they broke Gundogan last year. That didn't happen. They broke Rodriguez yesterday. I mean, for me, I think they're just breaking anything to do with Manchester United just to pull in viewers, which is sad, because there's just no credibility to what they do.
Sky Sports are as a reliable source as Vincent Rodriguez. I mean, they are horrendous. I mean, let's not forget their number one their Spanish correspondent is Guillem Ballbag, whatever he's called. I mean, he's awful in himself, and this whole James Rodriguez thing was a joke. And yeah, look, I think there's substance in the Michael Keane thing, but I think there's as much substance as any transfer rumour with United, which is, yes, we're probably interested in him, but we're probably also interested in about 10 other centre-backs, and we'll wait and see, what one we get regardless. I think that the feelers will be out there, and I think Michael Keane is our Europa League next season centre-back. which I'd be quite happy with, to be honest, because we know we're not going to get, we're not going to get anyone else really of any note with no Champions League.
Okay. Sorry, I'm getting asked to do stuff when I'm live on a show and I can't do it, unfortunately, which is frustrating. There are going to be calls for Mourinho's head if he plays the same drab football. That would have been seen too many times. I think he needs to realise Man United equals football and Chelsea, they are flower shows. BBC are actually reporting we're interested in Keane. Well, that is a step up, Ross, to be fair. I know you spoke about him a few weeks ago and you quite like him. I'll be honest with you. I think he's good value for money. I like his height, he's 6'2". I like his age, I think he's 23. I like the fact that he's Premier League proven and he's done well in a poor side. But I'm going to be totally honest here, and this is going to, I don't say things to be popular, as I'm about to prove. I don't think there's a hell of a lot of difference between Michael Keane and Chris Smalling. Silence.
Yeah. No, sorry, mate, I was on mute. Look, he's cheap. He's a cheap centre back. The thing that pisses me off is for the fact that we sold him for £2 million only last year. But then we've got that buyback clause, so we save a little bit of money. Not a buyback clause, we've got a sell-on clause. So if they sell him on, we claw a little bit back. So even if we buy him for 25 million, I think it works out at about 20. But do you know what? About 2 weeks ago, I would have said a yes. But seeing the development of players like Tuanzebe, I'm going to change my mind and go for a no, because I think that he is a good centre-back, Michael Keane, a very good centre-back, but we've got lots of them in our academy and we just need to give them a chance. Because what we will do is we'll buy Michael Keane back, players like Tuanzebe get the ump, we'll sell them for £2 million next year, and then we'll be buying them back for £50 million in 3 years' time. We need to get out of that circle, and Jose needs to break that, because it started under Moyes and Van Gaal, and even Fergie towards the end.
Yeah, I think Michael Keane is a bit of a weird one to bring back, really. Somebody just said in the live comments there, it's embarrassing to bring him back. I don't think it was embarrassing to bring Pogba back, although I suppose it was because we let him go, but I can understand why we brought him back. But Michael Keane coming back, I don't know. I don't know whether we need... I think there's better out there. Robert McPhee's made a contribution on the Super Chat. Thanks for that, Robert. He says Borthwick Jackson is back at the club, but isn't allowed to play as officially he's still on loan. He might as well head out on holiday now, which is... well, thanks for that, Robert, and thanks for the contribution, but thanks for the contribution of knowledge as well, because I don't think a lot of people will know that. It just occurred to me... Oh, phew for that. I didn't know whether we were even on the telly tonight. I was like, I'm all set up in front of my telly, and what if we're not on? But we are, which is good. The team is a joke, says Andre Robinson. Keane's better than Jones and Smalling, says Jason Bourne 89. You see, I think that's what happens when you sign somebody. I don't know what your thoughts are. I had my rant about this last night, Ross, about the Rodriguez stuff. And I know we were talking on the private message group that we have for the United Stand contributors. And a lot of people on there were like, oh yeah, I really like Rodriguez. And I was very on social media as well in there saying, look, I don't want him. I don't really see the point. We've got Mata, we've got Pereira, who I really believe in. Yes, Rodriguez is a fantastic player, but I think we need other players elsewhere. It's a bit like it there with Michael Keane. As far as I'm concerned, Michael Keane is still a Burnley player that we might not sign. I'm not really comfortable with the way United fans already start talking about players that we haven't signed yet over our players. I think unless it's Lingard or Fellaini, then you've got to sort. I don't genuinely see. I know how well Smalling can play. I don't genuinely see a hell of a lot of difference between Michael Keane and Chris Smalling, and I really don't. And I think Manchester United do need a centre-back, and as good as Michael Keane might be, the centre-back we sign should be better than Bailly. That's what Bailly's obviously fantastic. I think the person next to him needs to be as good as, or better, hopefully, than him. That's what we need, not another... the fact that we're already having the debate who's better, Smalling or Keane, is the problem, really, because what we actually need is somebody who's definitely better than Smalling, who we're actually saying might even be better than Bailly. If that's the centre-back we need to sign, that's my concern about Michael Keane.
I think that's, I could go into it quite a lot, but I'm not. But I was thinking about it today, about the signing of Keane, that football in general, over the whole of Europe, has massively got downgraded to what it was about 10 years ago. Thinking that we used to have Yapstam, Vidic, Ferdinand, and now we're looking at Michael Keane. And then I even look at opposition with AC Milan, Nesta, Maldini. they're not there anymore. Chelsea won the league with Cahill and David Luiz. You're not telling me overnight David Luiz has turned into a world-class centre-back. He's still the crap that he was 3 years ago. It's just that he hasn't got the forwards to combat him, to be honest. So I think there's a step up that needs to happen, and I think it's got, like you've said all season, Mark. We've got to look to the youth. We've got to look to Pereira, look to Tuanzebe, because we can't buy the players out there because they're just not there. And we'll be looking at Michael Keane, and that's not the standard. Like you say, Bay's a standard. He's probably the best centre back in the Premier League, and he was cheap, really. And I can't think of anyone else really out there that can rise above Bay.
Yes, I would agree with that. Do you think there's any danger of Mata going? A few people are on about that. Obviously, we're talking about James Rodriguez there. Apparently, he's only got a year left on his contract.
I think 100% he is staying, to be honest, because I saw some comments the other day from I don't know what it was on. It might have even been MEN, which is awful, but saying that Jose's really, really warm to him, and he likes his work rate. I think the fact that he's come back from injury so quick, that is a massive statement for Mourinho, for a player to Mourinho to come back that quick and show the desire. Because Mata was out for the season. I don't think Jose would have looked to get rid of him if he just never played again this season. But the fact that he's fought his way back and he scores in big games. Look, he hasn't got the height. He's only ever going to play 60 minutes a game and be subbed off for Fellaini. We know that, but I think he's staying, and I think it's great because look, you can't get bogged down too much to liking a player, because we all like Jesse Lingard. He's just shit, but Matt has a fantastic personality off the pitch as well, and I think that will resonate round the squad as well. I think you need them personality, so bring it on, and I hope he stays, and I think he will.
I mean, I'm going to be totally honest with you. If you want an honest answer, and everybody at home, look, I don't hate James Rodriguez. As I said last night, I really think I should probably get the copyright on Wander the left foot, because he has. And who's the better player, Juan Mata or Rodriguez? Probably Rodriguez, to be honest. But I don't feel you shouldn't. For me, and I don't know what you think, Ross, and people at home. When I look at Manchester United's team at the moment, replacing Mata for Rodriguez, whilst Rodriguez might be a better player, is sort of fixing your front window when the back of the house has been kicked in. It's like, yeah, that's a nicer window, but what are we going to do about the back of the house that's fallen down? That's what I think about that transfer. And 50 million. I mean, people are talking about spending 300 or 400. We won't. If we spend 200, I'll be quite surprised. So to spend 50 million of that 200 million on a player that we don't really need, and he is better than what we've got in that position, but we've already got a very good player in that position. What I want us to go and sort centre back. I want us to sort the centre defensive midfield. I want us to get a number 9. I want us to get a number 10. I want us to get some width. I want us to potentially get a left back. We probably need a goalkeeper if the hair goes. It's a long way down the list. I think is my priority.
Just quickly, off subject, I don't think we will buy another keeper if De Gea goes. From what I've seen about Jose's comments about Pereira, I think he thinks he's good enough, and I think he has immense trust in Romero to hold the fort until maybe Pereira's ready. So I don't think we'd be in the market for one. I really don't. But yeah, I think James was plan B. I think that if we don't get Champions League football, we will welcome James Rodriguez with open arms, and that's probably what will happen. I don't think we'll sign him if we're going to buy Griezmann. But saying would I want him, it'd be yes, because all year all United fans have been talking about this immense, amazing squad we've had. Even I said it numerous times. We've got the best squad in the league. It turns out we haven't. It turns out that our squad players are just crap. And when I'm looking at the team lineup, not today so much, but last week against Tottenham, and I'm seeing Jesse Lingard repetitively in the team, I'm thinking, why is this happening to Manchester United? We need these players replaced straight away. We need Lingard to be a squad player at best, but he can't because we haven't got the players to do that. So we need to bulk up, because next season we're going to be. Jose's moaned about the Europa League all year. We're going to be Champions League and Premier League, so there's going to be no rotation whatsoever. So we need a huge squad to deal with the sheer amount of games that we're going to play next season.
Moving on slightly, Ferris RD has made a contribution. Thank you, Ferris. He says, Tuanzebe, Fosu, Pereira, Rashford. What a spine. Will lead us to titles in the future. The future is bright. You know what? I am in that camp. The youth of United is something that's very important. But as I said last night again, look, I've supported Manchester United for decades, and I know how good the class of '92 were, and I know from the class of '92 to now, we've had youth players, but they've not really, we've played. We've paid more than lip service because it was important to Sir Alex Ferguson. We've had people like O'Shea, Kieran Richardson, Darren Fletcher, Welbeck, but they weren't really first team stars of the calibre of a Scholes or a Beckham or a Giggs. I think for the first time in a long time, we've got players good enough to be first team players and good enough as well to sort of be mentioned in the same breath of class of '92, because Tuanzebe can be a first team player, Rashford definitely can. Fosu Mensah I've got total confidence in. We've now got this keeper Pereira that Mourinho likes. We've got Pereira on loan, who I've got total confidence in. I mean, that is, people want to go and sign players, Ross, but I think we are in a situation now, if Mourinho does trust them, that these players actually, I don't want to see them going on. I mean, I guarantee you, Andres Pereira is a case in point. Whether he'll be a United player in the future, I don't know. But I know for a fact, if we don't use him, he will go off somewhere else and we'll go, we should have played him. He really is the real deal. And the same goes for Fosu Mensah.
You missed Jesse Lingard off that list. Forget he's a wonderful young talent.
Local lad Lingard, the treble out.
Yeah, don't diss Lingard. I think you're right, mate. We've got the talent there. The Pereira brothers are brothers, aren't they? Joel and Andres, I think.
I don't think they are. I don't know.
Oh, they're not. No, I've got that completely wrong. Oh well, there you go. But yeah, I think it's a great spine. We should push through with it. But whether Jose will do it is another thing. But then he's got the opportunity to. I mean, regardless of what Mourinho's tactics are, Fergie is his idol manager. And I think at some point in his career, he's going to want to do something similar to Fergie. If that's win a treble, if that's build a team that he's promoted through the youth, he has the chance to do it. And he's already showing signs to us. I mean, we slated him all year, and I know the Premier League's over, but he's still showing signs of faith. He's already been praising our keeper, Joel Pereira, and he's been praising Tuanzebe by playing him. And I think Fosu Mensah's worked his way into his good books, and Rashford's Rashford. So it's exciting times, but it is easy, and I don't talk down to anyone who gets blinded by these transfer rumours, because it is easy to see James Rodriguez and just blow your lid with excitement. I mean, there was a little schoolboy part of me that was going, yes, another big signing, great, name on the back of the shirt, awesome. But you just have to sit down and think about it and go, do we actually need him in our squad? And it probably is no.
I would agree. Let's have a look at some of your live comments. Rahul Seller says, good job with the channel, Mark. Thanks for that. Please remember to drop a like on the video. And if you are new, subscribe to the channel. We passed 87,000 last night, which is fantastic. We're trying to get to 90,000 by full time on the Europa League final day, which would be great to end the season on that. And then maybe next season we'll be at 100,000, which would just be unbelievable. But we're sharing the success with you, so we can't do it without you. The live comments are up on the screen. The live comments are there for us to read, and it really is all about you as much as it is us. So subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and get involved. And if you are new, you found a fantastic community. We're not just live for the watch-alongs. We'll be live tomorrow at 8:30. We're doing a Skype Goldbridge again tomorrow night because we've got no Thursday night football, Ross. Yay! There's no Thursday night football. Hopefully not until September. Well, we will be back playing it in September, won't we, if we don't win next week? But hopefully that could be it forever. It's quite nice. So we'll do a Skype Goldbridge tomorrow night, a bonus one. We are going to move from 1 to 2 a week because it's fast becoming the best show on the channel. Obviously, preview Friday night, Sunday night live. Saturday we'll do something. 7 a.m. every day we've got the Transfer Daily. I'll talk about Michael Keane on that one tomorrow as well. So loads to go on. Get involved. Tell your friends. Get involved and subscribe and like. That's that done. Brian Parr, Mark, you are the best. My eyes were just drawn to that. Thank you. Don't let anyone bring you down. You bring joy and entertainment to United fans all over the world. That is the truth. Thanks, Brian. Your tenner's in the post. Want this season to end now, says Hamza. What? We've got a cup final to come. We've not spoke about this, MUFC Dazzler. Do you think we'll win tonight? I'm not confident, Ross. That's from MUFC Dazzler. Do you think we'll win tonight, Ross? I've not really
You know
thought about it
what?
much. I just went for a conservative 2-2 because it's so hard to predict.
I don't care. I really couldn't care less. But do I think we're going to win tonight away at Southampton? Southampton have got nothing really to play for. But I think we'll draw, to be honest, because regardless of I think we're going to be playing at about 60-70% because they're all going to be petrified of being injured. So we're not going to go into tackles. And I think Paul Pogba is a massive miss to our team. I think every game that he hasn't played, it's stuck out like a sore thumb. So, yeah, a draw at best, to be honest. But again, I couldn't care less. I just want to. I'll be player watching Tuanzebe today, which is why I was actually quite excited about tonight because, like you, probably the same, Mark. I just enjoy watching players like that play. It's interesting to see.
Let me just see if I can find the comment. I'd like to give him a shout out. Okay, Star Blogger says, did you see the Joe Hart interview? No, I've got a life. I would rather stick pins in my eyes than listen to him talk. The thought of prospect of him playing in the goal for Manchester United just makes me cry. But apparently, he's had the thing is, Joe Hart, he's a Manchester City player. I saw that Aguero goal by accident. I'm normally well timed. I can switch it off. But I saw it accidentally on Twitter the other day. It was sort of one of them lead-ins where you think it's something to do with United and then it cuts to the Aguero goal. And there's Joe Hart running around. I thought, just never at our club. But the reality is he's had an absolutely atrocious season for Torino. He's not had a good season there. Apparently he's upset because he's going to have to leave Man City. But he says a return to the Premier League is quite likely. Thankfully, he doesn't mention us. I don't want him anywhere near us. So that's answered. Marcus Pentland says, I'm not even a United fan, but I love watching this channel. I'll tell you what, that's nice to hear because, I can't stand any other club, to be honest, but a lot of it is banter related and everybody's more than welcome. And the great thing I think about the United stand and the live comments and everyone who comes on it is that people try to banter us, your DTs of this world and your Mo's and everyone like that. They try to banter us, but the reality is, Ross, if we don't do well, I think this channel and everybody who watches it has always been pretty honest about when we don't do well and we don't deserve things. We don't like to be, but banter doesn't really work from rival clubs because we're the first there to sort of say what the problem is.
Yeah, I think the difference is between us and rival clubs as well is we don't thrive on actually losing because of YouTube views. We're actually disappointed to lose and we never want us to lose. But yeah, I think we've been realistic this season, especially after, I think it has hit home over the past 2 months. I think even 6 to 8 weeks ago, I'd have told you that we'd have got top 4 and it's gone drastically wrong. And we've all criticised Jose for that. And I think rightly so. He needs criticism for that. But we still back him when we ultimately always will until he ultimately, if he fails in the end, which I don't think he will. I think he'll carry on for many years. But I'm a lot rides on this Europa League final. An absolute bucket load rides on it, and it's like I say, I'm going to be nervous, but it basically is our whole season wrapped into one game.
Nathan Wood, you've just come out with the comment that my eyes were drawn to, and I like it. I think this should be. I want this to take off because I know another channel has it, but I want this to take off in the United community. Nathan Wood says, "United stand and chill." I like it. I like that saying a lot. Let's get that going in future. Mark Gowans, I'm Scottish and love the United stand and prefer it to the other channel with the Diego Costa lookalike on it. Who's that?
I think that's Macola.
Oh, right. Oh, God. Well, we don't mention them, but yeah. Oh, to be fair, he looks younger than Acosta. Costa looks like he's... I call him Starbucks anyway. Not the other fella, the real Diego Costa. He looks
got a nice pair of Ugg boots.
Yeah. Ugg boots are us. It's almost 1 a.m. It's a weekday. Hope it's worth me sacrificing my sleep, Ashwari Caleb. We will do that just before kick-off, where you're all watching from, because I'm always intrigued by that. But... to be honest with you, I remember it from the LVG days. We used to do the watch-along, obviously, and people would be like, I'm watching this rubbish at 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning. I appreciate it is a difficult one tonight because there's not a lot resting on it. We already know we're finishing 6th, but I just think the angle's got to be for everybody. And I agree if you're a United fan, you should be getting up at 1 a.m. I mean, I don't know what Ross's plans or Marcus' plans are in the summer, but I'll be certainly getting up at silly o'clock to watch the watch-alongs for the US tour because I quite enjoy it. But it is difficult getting up at that time in the morning when there's nothing on it. But what I would say, it will be worth it because there are players tonight, Ross, who really they didn't show themselves in a good light on Sunday, and they need to tonight. They really do.
Yeah, I was actually watching your watch-alongs last summer because it was interesting to see, players like, we had new signings and we had Zlatan playing in some of the warm-up games. I think it was Zlatan's first touch in United shirt. He scored an overhead kick, so it's definitely worth tuning in. And for seeing the players that are going to leave as well. And yeah, I think there's quite a few tonight, in and around the squad that maybe won't be here next season, and they're all playing for their future. But the one that I will pick out, and I'll always pick it out because he's been getting a lot of stick, and a lot of people think he's going to leave, is Martial. And I really, really think that Mourinho is going to work with him and work at him to make him the player that I think Jose and all us fans know he can be, which is absolutely world class.
We've had a couple of super chats that I need to read. Darian Jones, thank you. He says, if Rodriguez comes to United, I hope he comes with the attitude of restarting his career and making a mark on the Premier League. I'd still prefer Bale, though. Look, if Rodriguez comes, that means Mourinho wants him. And Mourinho, as we've seen with Martial, Mkhitaryan, Luke Shaw, he demands that work. So Rodriguez will have to do that. So I'd be confident of that happening. Would I prefer Bale or Rodriguez? I'm surprised so many people are critical about Bale because he's already proven in the Premier League and he would be a fantastic player in the Premier League. And Darian Jones made another super chat. Thank you, Darian, for those contributions. I can't face another Europa season, so I am nervous. Just for those people who do make super chat options, I know they whiz by, but sometimes we're mid-conversation, but we won't miss them, don't worry. There's a page I can go to and I can see them, and we'll always go back to them and give you the shout-out. So thanks for those contributions. You can do that through the dollar thing at the bottom if you want to support the United stand. But back to reality. We're 20 minutes from kick-off. Did you give a score prediction, Ross?
No, I didn't. I just went with a draw. Because United haven't scored a lot recently, I'll probably say 1-1.
1-1. I'm going to go 2-2. From another point of view, Southampton are obviously Liverpool reserve, so it's unlikely we're going to sign anybody from there. But I did mention Nathan Redmond. I was impressed with him in the League Cup final. I've been impressed with him this season. He's certainly, for those people who think question mark about Nathan Redmond, he puts Lingard in the shade every day of the week. So I don't think we'll sign him. He's on a long contract. But I think, for those who think, he's not Manchester United class, we've got Jesse Lingard in the squad on $100,000 a week for the next 4 or 5 years. So Redmond is definitely United class. I like him. James Ward-Prowse was mentioned. I don't know whether he's starting, but a few people have mentioned him. Van Dijk obviously still injured, so he won't play. But I was saying this on the preview. This is, Mourinho should take advantage of this game. And I know he can't put the first team out because Pogba's not here and Valencia's not here and Blin's not here. But in a way, it would have been nice if he could have done that. Whether he would have done, I don't know. Because I would have liked to have seen the first team play tonight that he's got in mind for the Europa League and really go for it, give him a week off, because Southampton are going to be very close to what Ajax play. They're very close in the way they approach the game, and I think that would have been a really good workout for everybody. As opposed to Palace, who are just a crap long ball team.
Yeah. Well, what I will say, Mark, is I went to the League Cup final, so because I was there watching it live, it means my opinion's absolute golden. So, the danger man's Redmond for me. Redmond and Bertrand. I don't know if Bertrand's playing today, but Redmond was phenomenal against us in the League Cup final. We played crap, but Redmond was phenomenal, and he broke the lines really well. So he is one to watch. But again, I agree with what you say. He's Liverpool reserves, and he's Southampton quality. I don't think he'll ever jump past, a Southampton team, to be honest. I think he's one of them players that always needs to be the best player in a worse team as opposed to the worst player in the best team. So he's the danger man, though. Apart from that, if that sounded too negative, I'm not really interested. I'm only really watching. I'm just watching our youth players out there tonight, and Martial, to be honest, and just hope that they have good games. Regardless of the result, I want to see key players have good games.
Jack Strand says, ask Drawty to make a studio for the Europa League final like he did for the League Cup final. I loved it. It's already in the workings. It's already he's already mentioned it, so that'll do. Thierry Henry says 4-0 to Southampton. And Dutton says, so you think Real Madrid would sign Redmond? Look, we as much as I hate Real Madrid, we're not able to sign the sort of players that Real Madrid signed. So Real Madrid, if Jesse Lingard knocked on Real Madrid's door and said, "Pay me $100,000 a week," he'd be swimming with the fishes within about 5 minutes. He's just, they wouldn't entertain that sort of player. There's a few players in our squad that Real Madrid just really wouldn't have them cleaning the stadium, let alone wearing a shirt. So we're a long way off that.
Sorry to cut you off, Mark, but I'm getting a lot of work phone calls. There's obviously been some drama, so I'm going to have to go, unfortunately.
No, that's cool, Ross. Thank you. Are you coming on at half time, or are you?
Yeah, I'll be on at half time, mate. Yeah, thank you.
Cheers, pal.
Speak to you later.
Thanks, mate.
See you later, mate.
What I was going to discuss with Ross there, but I will discuss with you lot, is that it'll be quite interesting, the midfield today, because we've got Mkhitaryan and Mata and Martial, and we want them to have a good game. But how many times have we seen United this season where those players end up getting isolated and frustrated because they're not getting quality ball from the midfield? You look at our midfield today, Tuanzebe is effectively a centre-back. He's not going to be somebody who's going to be able to play 30, 40-yard incisive passes. Fellaini can't do it. And Rooney has been pretty poor at it. So Mata, Mkhitaryan and Martial are basically in the lap of the gods tonight, because they might be up for it, but they might not get the good ball. There's no Carrick, there's no Herrera, there's no Pogba. They're relying on Rooney, Fellaini and Tuanzebe to deliver the ball to them today. We've had a couple of super chats, but I don't think people have left any comments, so I'm just going to give you a big thank you. Tia Creates has contributed a couple of pounds. Thanks for that, pal. Remember, if you do... And Adam Peters has contributed £1. That's really appreciated, Adam. Thank you for that. Really appreciate it. Chad Sproul says, Marcus, get on. He can call me when he likes. And Alex Bork says, bye, Ross. Great as usual. You can follow Ross on Twitter @Hazard90. Bloody Twitter. And I tell you what, I had it up to here on Twitter today. I very nearly just stopped. I mean, I don't do everything on the United Stand MUFC account anyway, but my account, I just about had enough. But I've done my video, and I tell you what, thanks for everybody who's left your comments. Apologies for having to do it. I know it's irrelevant and boring to many of you, but I don't want people to have... I don't want lies to spread that are just not true. I don't want what we're building here to be demeaned, and it's been done now. And actually, I feel a hell of a lot happier about it, because it's well, the video explains it, doesn't it? But it's it's out there now, isn't it? Rohan Dave's contributed $5. Thank you, Rohan. He says, sorry, Roshan, not Rohan. I'm thinking of Lord of the Rings. I'm glad we're focusing on the final, says Roshan. Good time to test different lineups. Also, don't listen to haters. Keep great videos up. Cheers from the US. Go Manchester United. Thanks, Roshan. I mean, you know what? Just very quickly, I know I'm going to ask you all where you're watching from. But if the United Stand continues to grow, the plan is, maybe in a year or two, is that we will be able to, maybe book out a pub or something like that in America, in Norway, in India, in Australia, and have a, sort of a get-together sort of event, which I think would be fantastic. So the bigger we get, the more these opportunities will come up. Rob Tour says, what video? Look, we're talking football at the moment. It's called Rest in Peace, Mark Goldbridge. It's all on there. But I did it right before this because I don't want it to be some sort of big event. I want this to be Manchester United Watchalong. And if you want to know about that, it's there for all the idiots who are trying to delve into my private life and put things that they shouldn't be putting on social media. Just shut them down, which is what has been done. Have you been to Scotland? Says Ewan Gordon. I nearly did. I was going to go to Scotland when I was about 11. I was going with my dad. Mum and dad had separated. He'd married again. They had kids, and I decided the night before. No, I wasn't 11. I was older than that. I was about 14, and I decided the night before I'm not going because I didn't want to go with them. So I didn't go, but my sister had to go, but I didn't. But I would like to go to Scotland. Edinburgh, definitely. NT Gunkshi has contributed, I don't know what that is, NT $1,000, but it's probably a couple of pounds in whatever that denomination is. But he says, keep up the good work. So thanks for that, Gunkshi. I know you're a regular on here. And there was somebody else. Ankit Sharma, what Sir Alex Ferguson would have done would let me get that right for Ankit because he has contributed. Thank you. He says, what Sir Alex Ferguson would have done with dead rubber like this. Exactly. Well, Rooney wouldn't be here. He was going to get rid of him. It's a friendly tonight, says Arlang Ewan. Glad Lingard isn't playing, says Warren Alvarez. Top bloke says White Snake, so you pal. And sarcastic banter starting already. He's watching from Nigeria. That's not banter. He's just telling us where he's watching from. Christian from Norway, Benjamin from Norway, and Marcus Kavlin from Bolivia. I'll tell you what, you've started, so let's do it. How many of you... Where are you watching from? Joe's watching from Peroski in Hungary. Jake Holden's in Newcastle. Kieran Hole says come to Dublin. Look, that would probably be my number one spot to start doing a United Stand event in a pub, would be Dublin. You provide the pub, get the tickets, we'll come and do it, we'll give the tickets to charity, and we'll just come over, because I lived in Dublin for 3 years and I loved it. To be honest, it's probably... I'm a Nottingham boy. Apart from my family, I don't really have any connection with Nottingham. When I go back there, I just don't feel it. When I go to Dublin, I feel it. I love it. I absolutely love that place. I mean, I'm English, and I love the fact that I'm English, but I do love Dublin. It is great. And I would love to go back, and I will go back, but I'd love to go and do something like that. We don't need James. We need a better Fellaini, says Fellaini fan. Christian's from Norway. Parth Patel's from India. Manchester, Christian, Norway. We've done Joe in Hungary. Gary Warburton's in Canada. New York for Ziad. And we're getting a lot of Norway. Mauritius for Rinison. Michigan for the Polish Wonder. It's because I'm not whizzing through. Senegal for Papa Nagom. Jamaica for Marcus. Poland for Dynamic Design. Aberdeen for Cole Hamilton. DC for Sulhash. We've got Canada, we've got Philadelphia, we've got London, we've got Spalding, Nepal, Jamaica, Mumbai, Kabul, Copenhagen, but I'm from Tibet, says Angolo. Sweden, we'll be there next week. Halifax, Pakistan, Dublin, Earth, India, Stockholm. We will be Stockholm next week. Syria, Mars, England, and New York. And where's the scoreboard? You've just reminded me. I've stayed on the Skype Goldbridge. What a comment that was. Very good comment from Joanne Phillips. Let me just read this though from Chris Tech Tips. Thanks for the contribution, Chris. Not seen you for a while. He says, thank you, Mark. Let's win tonight 3-0. Send our way to the final in pride. Of course. It is literally only... how do I say it? We are only literally 1 week away from the final, aren't we? So, by hours, at this time next week, we will be virtually at the kickoff. Look at what I can do when I'm live. It's fantastic, isn't it? So, we've got that right. Just need to change the score. Don't worry, don't panic. It's not 2-1 to Southampton. If you've just tuned in at that unfortunate moment, it's not 2-1. I just haven't updated the score from Sunday. But all this gets done live. I can do it live. Let's have a look. 0-0. Wrong font. There we go. Simple as that. I can tell people don't care about this game today because the viewing figures are quite low, but it's not about quantity, it's about quality. Please do drop a like on the video. Let's get to 1,000 likes ASAP. Nairobi from Rishad. Jake Holden says Mark Goldbridge, I like. Sander's mum's house, says AJ Nell. Don't tell Sander. I don't know whether Sander's on. I like the new away kit, Raymi. I don't know what everyone else thinks. And you know what? I'm really enjoying. Somebody just said there, are you enjoying? Draughty Devil's getting a hard on saying who the hell contributed $1,000. It's NT $1,000. Draughty. I think if you go and have a look what domination that is, it's probably just a few pounds, which every pound is welcome. Not everybody does it from Gungshi, and he's definitely somebody who's been here a long time. But I don't want people thinking he's remortgaged his house to do that. Someone was just talking about the daily transfer show, how long we're going to keep it going. We've trialled it for the last couple of weeks. I'm going to be totally honest with you. We're not sure how long we're going to keep it going. So keep watching it at 7 a.m. Keep dropping your likes and your comments on it. While there's news to do, we'll do it. And there is always news to do. We like doing it. Draughty's put up a brilliant studio to do it. And there'll definitely be one tomorrow. But to be honest, the season's nearly over. And our experience of transfer news is that we were doing the 7 a.m. show and a 8:30 show and ones in between when people sign. So loads planned. And when it comes to transfer shows, there's no better football channel than the United Stand. I'm not even including Manchester United content. We've been doing it for 3 years. And a lot of it just comes from the interaction we have with you lot, because you're fantastic. Some of you just really know your stuff, and I have an interest in world football and transfers. I've played FIFA for a lot of my life, and you get to know obscure players, but I watch a lot of football as well. But you can't know everything. But what I've learned over the last couple of years, having done 2 previous summers, is loads just from you lot. And most names I know now, and I can give an educated sort of opinion on them and what they can do and what they can't do. Andre Lacazette, somebody mentioned to me the other day. I can't see it. I think it's just a French Jermaine Defoe. Funnily enough, some people would take Defoe. I don't think he'll come to Manchester United, for those who are thinking about it. Aidan Landsberg, it's £25. Well, that's still a very generous contribution from Gungshi, so thank you very much for that. Really appreciated. As soon as the new kits come out, we will be giving away those, so the money does go towards things. We're looking at other areas for the United Stand as well. I think we're more or less set for the summer in relation to content we're going to do, which is good, but we're starting to look towards next season, which is great. Any ideas or anything like that? We desperately want to get people involved, but we do the Skype shows, which is great, but we're always looking for somebody to do what I do. It's very difficult. I don't want to big myself up, but it is very difficult on many levels. Like I said in my Rest in Peace Goldbridge video, you will get a lot of abuse in that, but we would help you. But if the opportunity is there, and if you go to matches at Old Trafford, there's definitely opportunities for you to get involved and do content there as well. So lots to do. De Gea will miss the last 2 matches, says MU Blaze. Yeah, we've spoken about it. I think De Gea's played his last game. I think it's really sad. I think, Mourinho I love and I back Mourinho, but there are aspects to what he does that I just won't agree with, and I don't agree with doing that to somebody who's a United great, but he is going to do it. I'm just speaking to Drawty. Okay, we are... Oh, bloody hell, we're 4 minutes from kickoff. Where's Mad Marcus? Is he coming on? I can't do it on my own. Please, Marcus, join me. You're normally here by now. He's ready, which is good. He's definitely on there, which is great. I'm sure he's got some questions to ask because I haven't spoken to him, and he normally likes to know things before you lot, so that'll be quite interesting. But we don't hide from anything on the United Stand. If he's got things to say, he can say it. Hello, Marcus. Can you hear me?
You all right, pal? You all right?
I'm good, thanks. You?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah.
So I haven't heard from you today. I normally have at least 50 text messages, but I probably haven't replied to any of yours because it's been a rather dramatic day. But
yeah, pretty eventful, so I've heard.
Yeah, no, not. I mean, that was obviously that's been dealt with. But no, I've been trying to put up curtain rails and stuff, which for anybody who has the joy of putting up curtain rails, you'll normally find one side goes in absolutely perfect, and the other one you can only get about a centimetre of your drill because you're going up against something that feels like it's granite. So that was good fun as well. But enough of that. What's your thoughts on the game and the team?
It's near enough the same team as the one against Spurs, isn't it? Apart from Fellaini starting, yeah?
Yeah, so Fellaini's playing, no Carrick. Yes.
Lingard on the bench.
Lingard's on the bench, so was it Mkhitaryan starting, isn't he? So, yeah.
Yeah, it's near enough the same as Sunday, isn't it? But to be honest, mate, I'd expect the same sort of performance.
Really?
I think I really do. I think, with the addition of Fellaini, I mean, it just averages height, doesn't it? Just gives us a bit of height, and that's about it. But I think it'll be near enough the same as Sunday.
What, a poor performance?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Because, I mean, Lingard, I think, is average, and, everyone knows how bad Fellaini is, so he's not going to improve the side. He's not going to change the tactics. So, yeah, I think the only plus for me is Tuanzebe again. Martial up front, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know what? I'm not saying that you're wrong, but that'd be a sad state of affairs. I think they missed their opportunities on Sunday. I mean, these people, these players for Manchester United are playing for a place in the Europa League final, and it's what's worrying me is that we've got Pogba, Valencia to come back, who've both been beasts this year, and Blin's very consistent, but we haven't got a hell of a lot of other players to come back. I mean, Rashford's on the bench, but we need some of these players tonight to really start stepping up to the plate and putting in a performance, and I'd be disappointed if they don't. I was disappointed on Sunday.
Well, I mean, some of them, if you don't believe the papers and whatnot, then some of them are playing for their futures, aren't they? We all say Rooney's going to go, but it's not exactly set in stone.
No.
Carrick again with the contract. Again, I know there's talks and things are looking pretty positive, but again, that's not set in stone. I just think a couple of these players now they got points to prove if they want to be part of the future plans. Yeah,
it's a good point. I mean, it's not just playing for a place in the final; it's playing for your future as well, which is surprising how many of them played badly at the weekend. I mean, to be honest with you, I'd never thought I'd say this, but I find Wayne Rooney being in the team a bit of a chore because he's just so bad. But he'd probably have a good game today, and everyone will say, "Oh yeah, he's still got it." But we mustn't forget how many bad games he's had. So I hope he can have a good game, but I mean the lad's finished as far as I'm concerned. Hopefully he'll score a hat-trick, but I don't think he can do anything to change my mind about him now. He's just he's lost it. We're just about to kick off. Let the timer start.
Can I just say something literally now quickly because I've been asked to say this to you. This is from George Kyle, normally in the comments. He says he just wanted to say on behalf of everyone associated with the United stand that we are all massively grateful and thankful for all your unbelievable efforts on our behalf. The dedication you show, your relentless uploading of exceptional content and the incredible way you interact with the followers is tremendous. With regards to your name, all superheroes have alter egos which they use in order to protect their identity. It's not who you are but what you do that defines you. That's it. Done.
Well, I'll tell you what, George, I'm sure that's only on behalf of you, and everyone else is saying, I don't think that. But I'll tell you what, I won't lie to you all, and I'm not going to lie to you, that comment was really nice, and nice comments actually do mean a lot. And I think too many people try to be humble, and I am very humble. I don't celebrate success. I get somewhere and then I want to go somewhere else. But having done this for 2-3 years, what I will say is nice comments are nice. It makes it feel like the work that you put in means something. But I would throw it back and say, I wouldn't be still here if it wasn't for all of you lot. So it really is down to you lot. It's never a cliche. I never say it for effect. This channel is your channel as much as it's ours, and we share the success. And I wouldn't do it. I couldn't sit here without a live comments. I'd find it very, very boring. So thanks to all you lot. But we have got a football match. That's why we're here.
Yep, here we go.
We are 1 minute half in, and Southampton have just put a cross in. I'm just trying to give you a little bit about sort of... the blasted one over the bar there. So we'll settle down a bit and sort of see what the lineup is. But I do need to read a super chat from Ankit Sharma as well. Thanks, Ankit. He says Marcus's voice is better than Martin Tyler. I don't know how you read that, really. It's definitely better than Martin Tyler when he's shouting Aguero. But there you go. You got a fan.
Right, I was just Marcus. Can you read mine? Well, I don't. Right, Luke Everson says, hang on quickly, this is going to become a habit now in this show. I don't care what your name is, I respect you, thanks for everything.
Thanks for that.
I might as well get mine out of the way as well, Mark. To be honest, I couldn't give a shit if your name was King Kong Bundy. You're always gold eating me and that's it.
Well, it will. I'm not. As I explained in the video, people can say what they bloody like, but I'm still going to be Mark Goldbridge. So that's it. I like it. It's the way it works for me. It's a divider. I like it. And unless people want me to have a meltdown, and I know some people probably do, I would go mad if it was just everything. That's that. It works really, really well for me, and it was unintentional. I had to use a different name when I started, but the way it's worked out is everything happens for a reason. But I do feel a lot happier that these idiots who think they can just start searching through my private life and putting it on social media, they probably still will do it, but they're not going to find anything, and that's why it was nice to get it out tonight. Although for a lot of you, just be like, what are you talking about? Talk about football because it is irrelevant.
Yeah, come on.
Rooney is up front, says
that's what
Jordan Burns, which is good. I wanted to see Martial playing on the left wing. I thought he played so well against Spurs, and I want him to sort of have a good game tonight and pinpoint that position for the final. Mkhitaryan's playing at 10, and
it looks like Matters on the
right, which again is quite a positive. Because although I disagree with it, I do think it will be Fellaini, Pogba, and Herrera as the midfield three in the Europa League. So I wouldn't do that, but I think we're going to have to accept that's going to happen. So the next best thing is that Lingard doesn't start. So Mata has to start on the right. I think Mata and Valencia do quite well. And then the left's up for grabs, really. Mkhitaryan or Martial. Rashford will obviously play up front, I think.
Well, see now, I mean, I thought it was a pretty slow midfield at the start, but if Rooney's going to stay up top and Martial on the left, Mickey at 10, I mean, that's quite a quick counter-attacking sort of midfield, doesn't it? Matters on the right as well, so apart from the right,
free kick.
No.
Penalty.
Penalty. Yeah. You said,
Eric Bailly's had a nightmare there. Softest penalty of the season.
Well, that's a bit harsh, mate.
No, it is. It is a penalty.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he's misjudged the flight of the ball there. That's outside the box, though.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, right on the line.
Another early goal. Well, here's Romero with a chance to sort of prove the doubters wrong. And he has! Romero saves it! Come on! That's good for him. You know, to be fair, I'd still play and Romero saves it. Well, that's good confidence for him, isn't it?
It is,
people,
yeah. I mean,
you know, you want him to play in the final. You feel he deserves to play in the final. I've been a bit critical. Well, I'm not going to move away from that. Obviously, De Gea is the better goalkeeper. But what I have said about Romero is I don't think he's really been tested in the Europa League. I think he's tipped a few long shots over the bar. But you can't fault him for, no one's in front of him. A penalty should be scored, and he saved it. So that's good to see. Good to see. Because he is playing in the final. So I don't agree with him playing in the final. But, I've got to back him. And it's good. Confidence is good for a goalkeeper. And
what impressed me there was a bit of a stutter in the run-up. And, normally the goalkeepers make their move, don't they? But he stayed there. He stayed on his line. He waited for it. So, fair play to him.
To be honest, I had a feeling he was going to save it. I wish I'd said it before because I just thought, he's had a lot of... there's a lot of us sort of like, oh no, De Gea should play in goal. It's a good, low, one-handed save. And
it's going in the corner.
Yeah.
So, very good save. Normally the one.
Gabbiadini, who was somebody with a couple of months ago we were talking about coming to United, but he's gone on a real cold vein of form. But a lot of people happy with Romero. Look, Romero is a good goalkeeper. I've got no doubt about that. I'm not going to say it anymore because I know people take it as me not liking Romero, and that's not the case. All I'm saying is De Gea is the better goalkeeper. The old analogy, when you've got a sports car and you've got a hatchback, go out in the sports car if you want to win. If you want to pull a woman, go out in the sports car. Don't go out in the hatchback. And we are going to try and pull a woman. Well, we're trying to pull a trophy on Wednesday. So I would pick De Gea, but he's still a very reliable hatchback, and I want him to do a good job because whatever happens, if Romero starts on Wednesday, which he will, next week, we've got to back him because you don't sub your goalkeeper. We're stuck with him. So if he's in form, there's nothing more confident than saving a penalty.
I'm a bit worried here. We seem to be trying to get through the middle. We're not spreading the ball out wide like we would normally do. We're in here. Oh, he could have gone for it. Go for it.
Was that Bailly?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, number 3. Yeah.
Yeah, he's all over the place at the moment. He's handling the ball. He's shooting in the box. It's a good open. I mean, to be honest, I don't know why people are saying it's a dead rubber game because I remember us playing West Brom. I think it was Sir Alex Ferguson's last game. Was it 4-4 or 5-5? And
5. Yeah.
It doesn't matter to either side, so it does sort of come a bit of an exhibition where people are like, playing freely, and that's what United need to do.
You think with these players that are on the brink,
Romero saved the penalty, pal.
Yeah, these players that are on the brink of being shown the door and fighting for their futures, you would think they want to put in a performance here, knowing the manager's long-term plans. They'd want to be a part of that.
Good header by Smalling.
You know, a couple of early punches from both sides early on. Good to see. So it's going to be an open game.
Yeah, well, that's what the positive I would take from that is that for United, it's like we're going to have to take the game to Ajax. It was a good run by Bay. That was. No worries, Azim. If he says he's revising, so he didn't see who saved the penalty. Hairy Hand says Romero isn't a car. I know. If we start bad, we end bad. Same with good. Simple manual maths, says XL Demong.
So good. I mean, a good first 10 minutes for Bay. Gives away a penalty. Then he's had a cracking chance.
Yeah, I do think that's very... Oh, come on, ref. That's got to be a yellow card. He
obstruction.
absolutely chucks him out, Romero. Spot on.
Yeah.
Spot on, ref. Absolutely body checks him. Nice little touch past him by Mkhitaryan. Sent him to the shops and he battered him.
I think this is a massive game for Mkhitaryan as well to cement a place in the final.
Yeah, back at number 10 as well, which is interesting. Yeah. Back at number 10. But
he's very hot and cold, that guy, I think.
Yeah. He's never... Oh, we don't want him to be...
Well, if he's injured, that's all.
He might just be winded, I think. Yeah, he's all right. He's put his hand up. Romu is a chopper, says Gungshi, which he is. I love Bay so much, says Kwame. And Mickey needs to show his worth today, Joe Stanley says, which is exactly the same as what Marcus was saying. So, great minds think alike, some people might say. Thoughts on Michael Keane, says just chill out. I'll be doing him on the 7 a.m. show tomorrow because we will... like last night, I was live at 11 o'clock talking about Carrick. So we will do stuff at that time of night. But by the time we've done the match reaction tonight, I don't think anybody's really going to be staying up to talk about Michael Keane. So we'll do him on the 7 a.m. show tomorrow. The ref's been good so far, says Jacob. Well, Mike Dean's a bit of a... I don't know whether it was in the penalty box or not, but they missed it, so it doesn't matter.
Alright, where is Tuanzebe playing from Liquid Hill?
He's playing like the Carrick role, the Herrera role, sort of in front of the back four.
Oh, that handball's definitely outside the box, mate.
The linesman's positioning's rubbish, and the referees, you shouldn't guess. Justice was served.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say it's justice for that, yeah.
Somebody's saying that Martial's useless. I haven't really seen him on the ball yet.
What was that? Someone asked a question there to me.
At least Rooney's up front because he's out of harm's way.
IJH 3000 is the reports about James Rodriguez. I thought that was all fake, wasn't it?
Unless something's happened in the last 10 minutes, the Rodriguez stuff is fake, which is quite funny because everyone had signed him yesterday morning and sold Mata. But all I would say is transfer news. One, don't think that Sky Sports breaking news has got any credibility. I mean, they will get it right sometimes, but they get it wrong a lot. And don't start picking your teams and getting rid of current players before the ink is dry on an actual signing. Rodriguez could join us, but it doesn't fit to me, to be honest.
Oh, really? Oh, that makes me...
AJ now saying Tuanzebe's good in that position. And KR saying horrible from Martial. I must be missing this. I've not really seen Martial do anything good or bad, so...
No, he's not been involved that much so far. You think for being, one of the major outlets in the side, they'd be getting him on the ball more often.
United in the Stands Chance makes a funny point. He says, if we sign Michael Keane, we'll have spent over £100 million signing former youth players in the last 2 years. I mean, most of that is obviously Pogba. Sky and BBC have credibility, says Gazamani. I disagree. I think the BBC do. I think Sky don't. They've got Balaguer on there for a start. I mean, he is just an absolute hater of Manchester United. And a lot of the Rodriguez stuff came from him. He started it over a month ago. And look, Balaguer gets a lot of stick on social media from United fans. Do you think he would think twice about chucking a rumour out there just to wind us all up? Balaguer is part of Sky, and I think he's very, very wishy-washy when it comes to Manchester United, and that's putting it kindly. Lovely play by Mata. Mata looks up for it. I thought Mata looked up for it against Spurs. He was just surrounded by, zombies, really.
Yeah, it's I remember the old saying, you're only as good as the players around you. So, but I mean, he's got some decent players around him. It's not as if it's a complete reserve squad.
Suhash SMUFC says, very good point. He says, Mark, when's the next FIFA career mode? That will be on my channel, the Mark Goldbridge channel, and it'll be tomorrow at about 5 o'clock. I'd forgotten to mention that, so there you go. It's on the Mark Goldbridge tomorrow, 5 o'clock. I'm top of the league in January. Here's Martial.
Good ball from Rooney
he
for
should
that.
have scored.
Yeah.
He's got to score that.
That was a good ball from Rooney. Yeah. I mean, he waits for the run. He knew he was coming. Yeah. Bit of a lame shot, wasn't it, at the end?
Yeah, he needs to put them away.
Seemed more like a pass than a shot. I mean, that's
really
exactly.
Disappointed because obviously when you make a pass like that, you want somebody to put it away so you can get the credibility for the assist.
That's it, and that's exactly what we've been lacking all season, being in them sort of positions and not putting the ball away. Southampton on the attack, headed out. Is James Ward-Prowse playing?
Pardon?
Is that Ward-Prowse lad playing? Southampton? He was mentioned on the.
I haven't looked at their lineup.
Huh? Fellaini gets his body in the way there from the long ball. Look, the forwards don't look like they're pressing the ball too much. Sort of just gonna let them have it. I mean, Mkhitaryan is just walking over. Come on, look. Got to get your foot in there, Jesus Christ. Come on, babe, get out to him. Come on.
Fell over the ball, the Southampton player there.
I don't like how we're standing off and letting them have the ball and play it around us. So, 17 minutes. We've had a couple of chances. Southampton obviously missed a penalty. Oh dear. Come to Coutinho says he's playing. Oh, right, okay. It'll be interesting to see if that Ward-Prowse then, see how good he is, considering that Skype caller said it the other night. Look, their centre back got the ball, just running into our half. No one's pressing him. Hey, come on. Oh. Got the wrong side of him there.
Free kick for Southampton just outside. That's Ward-Prowse there, I think. Number 16, is it? 18.
I know you mentioned that lad Redmond as well, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is Ward-Prowse on the free kick. So we might get a look at him here. Was it Rodney or somebody was on about him the other day actually on the Skype show saying that they'd like us to sign him?
These left field signings be good to see how they play against us. Yeah, Ward-Prowse playing, yeah. Daniel says, Mark, can you talk about the match? Instead of doing nothing.
I'm just doing something that I need to do because I'm getting all sorts of messages which I don't know what to do.
Yared says that you're scared the James Rodriguez deal could end Griezmann's chance of joining.
But nice little flick on by Fellaini into Rooney, lays it off to Mata. So good control of the ball. I mean, I'm very interested in watching Tuanzebe, to be honest, because he's a centre back essentially, and to be playing in the midfield at his age against the Premier League side away from home, like he did against Spurs, it's all good experience for him. And the interesting thing, as I said in the hour before the game, is that he's now played way more minutes this season than Fosu Mensah in the midfield. Who'd have thought that?
You know, I mean, on the subject of Fosu Mensah, I wouldn't be too worried if we didn't sign a CDM. I mean, if Carrick signs that extension, I'd be quite happy to see Fosu Mensah as the CDM next season, with Carrick as the backup on the bench.
Nice little bit of movement here. Mkhitaryan's going to hit it. It's going to go wide. Oh, keeper still put it for a corner. Did he? Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah. So even that shot there, it don't look like there's any conviction in it. Oh, another effort.
What's going on here? Oh, everyone's on about my name. I heard somebody saying it's a cool name. Look, I'm not going to entertain it because I'm not proud of it or anything like that. It's just weird for me to do it because I've always done this as Mark Goldbridge, and I always will do it as Mark Goldbridge. So it's not going to change. Obviously, I'm very proud of my name, and I do like it, but it's a private name, and there's no reason for it to be private anymore, apart from the fact that I like Mark Goldbridge thing, and I find it weird if you all started calling me that anyway. So. Yeah, but I've done a video on that. I mean, there's not a lot to be talking about on the football. Jacques says the United stand. Will United ever sign Ronaldo again? Yeah, I've sort of contradicted myself a little bit over the last few days because I did a video with Icardi on it. Then the next day we did Aubameyang because we're linked to him. And on both of them I said they'd be my ideal number 9. And I'm lying about both because I do like Icardi and Aubameyang. They would be in my top 3. I'd be happy to get either. But if you give me my pick of number 9, it would be Ronaldo. I think he'd be absolutely perfect as a replacement for Zlatan as a number 9 because he has got the complete package. Will it happen? No, of course it's not going to happen.
I wouldn't take him now.
Apparently you've missed a contribution.
To be honest, mate, I didn't see it.
Darren Mully says it's guesswork with Sky. They've got no credible sources. I mean, obviously they have because they're a full-time sports channel, but it plays into their hands if they can generate a load of people to turn on and watch their channel. And that happens a lot with a lot of media out there. I mean, if you read the Daily Star, and I don't suggest that many people will, every day we're signing all sorts of players. There's just, how do they get away with it? I mean, I remember speaking to Joey when he used to be on. Hopefully we'll get him back on again soon. And he was saying that in America, you just can't do that. The press are not allowed to say, like if the Premier League was in America, their papers would not allowed to be to even say stuff like De Gea's going to leave this summer because nobody's confirmed that. So they don't get away with it. Our press can just pretty much speculate and whatever.
I think it's got to be really concrete fact in it for them to publish it out there.
Yeah. I suppose it'd be weird to go and live in another country, really, because, well, obviously I lived in Ireland and it's very similar to here, but I think it'd be very weird to go and live in another country and, their press is actually credible because, whether it's the front pages or the back, some of the stuff that gets typed. Southampton there.
Phil Jones is moaning at Smalling there for not being in position.
It's not Smalling's man. Smalling's marking the
Oh
strike.
no, yeah. I mean, you turn around there and he's putting his hands out to Smalling. Don't know why.
Jack Boy says we're going to get smashed by Ajax. I hope not. Apparently Xander's got me in a photoshopped Arsenal Fan TV picture. I'll do him for defamation of character. And Sky generate hype, BBC cover up lies, the Sun are liars, can't trust none of it, says Casamania. And Joe Tarakani says, I'm impressed with Mkhitaryan so far as number 10 is meant for him. Nathan Harper doesn't rate Smalling and Jones. They are utter crap. Sell them both this summer.
Right, FJX9 says, how are we playing? I would say not fantastic. We created a couple of chances, but average start, I suppose.
Toby.28gaming has subscribed to the channel. Thanks, pal. If you are new, and I know everyone's just going to say they've subbed now just to get a shout out when they've probably been subscribed for a long time, which is always the danger. But Southampton playing down in the box there. But I know we normally pick up a few subscribers on the Watchalong, so welcome. You found a fantastic community, whether you're a United fan or not, really. Get involved. Make sure you click that subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner. And make sure you click the bell, because we are a live notification channel, so when we go live you should get notified about it. But if you don't, just put it in your diary. 7 a.m. every morning with a transfer show, and 8:30 every evening with a show, whether it's previews, transfer news, reactions, Skype Goldbridge, which we normally do on a Monday night, but we've got a bonus one for you tomorrow night. It's a Skype show tomorrow night, and I can proudly announce, for those who are watching this watch along, I know a lot of people enjoy the Skype show because you can Skype in and it's obviously all sorts of different opinion. We had 2 Mourinho outs on Monday, 5 Mourinhos in, but it was interesting to get the Mourinho out point of view. Totally don't agree with it, but the way they put it across was very well, and they believe that. So, you know, it's all about everybody's opinion. But for the summer, because there'll be no games, we will be doing Skype Goldbridge on a Monday and a Thursday night from now on permanently. So obviously next Monday, Tuesday night at 8:30, we've got a massive preview for the Europa League. That'll be an hour. Wednesday, massive watch along for the Europa League, and then Thursday, a Skype Goldbridge sort of reaction to what's happened on Thursday and what it means. Hopefully it'll be positive things. Mr. Flutini says, thoughts on Rooney so far? Marcus, what's your thoughts?
I think that says it all, doesn't it?
He's done all right. To be honest, he's in the perfect position, because even if he scored a hat-trick, he's not going to be playing up front in the final. So he's exactly where I want him to be, because I don't want him playing anywhere near as in the final, because I think he's obviously on the decline. So him up front is exactly where I'd put him.
I would say he's in the perfect place to not interfere. The midfield is what Mkhitaryan, Mata, and Martial as the 3. So him being up top is absolutely fantastic from their point of view, I suppose, because he can't get involved in the play. All he's there to do is just get a shot off if he can, and hopefully put it in the net. It's just been a normal Rooney performance, indication of what his season's been so far.
United in the stands chance says Marcus v Mark on FIFA, make it happen. We can definitely make it happen. I'll absolutely blitz him.
I was just going to say, I ain't going to be fair on you, mate.
I think everyone's seen us play seasons together on my channel, and they'll know who the quality player is.
They know I carry you, mate. All right.
It's going to have to happen now. The challenge has been laid.
We would leak loads of goals if it wasn't for me.
Ray Kawaza says, who has possession right now? Manchester United, but United have moved the ball around quite well in this game, and certainly at the moment we are. Fellaini decides to hit one from 40 yards. Don't ever try that again, Maron. Really don't. Neil Sanchez is the 800th like. We're closing in on 1,000. Please do drop a like on the video. I know views are slightly down from normal. You can tell that people are thinking it's not worth watching it, which I think is quite sad. If you're a United fan, you should watch United. But for the hardcore, we're here. So thanks everyone who's involved and has joined in. Andrew Ellis says Mourinho out because he's a negative, boring manager since he was appointed. Can someone inform me about the penalty miss, says Liam Daman? Yes, it was a sort of long ball towards Bailly. Like Marcus said, he sort of misjudged the flight of the ball. He's obviously going to try and chest it, but it lands on his hand. It definitely is a handball, but probably marginally outside the box. Penalty given. Gabbiadini steps up, goes to put it low in the corner, and Romero one-handed it round for a corner. It was a good save, which is a positive. Can you hear me?
Yes, mate. Yeah, what happened there?
So sometimes I knock the mic and it ruins it, but it will be back. It will be back.
Andy Burgess is a new subscriber who wants a shout out. There you go.
Yeah.
Delroy.
Sorry about that. I sometimes whack the mic, as people will know, and it will just mess up the stream for a little bit. And I was also just looking at my heavily pregnant wife walking up the stairs out of the room there.
Right. Here we go. This is a comment here that's going to put you right in your place, right? From Roy Martin. He says, yeah, Mad Marcus is your backbone. Mark is the luckiest FIFA player I have ever seen. Mad Marcus legend. There we go.
Yeah, but that means right. You're crap. Because if you're lucky, that means you're crap. I do need to get a new mic. You're right. Kondoka Mahidi, he says, you need a new mic, which I do.
Southampton attack corner.
Yes, I suppose with all this sort of delving into my private life, I can speak a little bit more freely about stuff that I don't normally speak now. So, yes, my wife is due in the middle of June, but the way things are going, it might be caesarean, so that could be early June. So, could be. You're probably going to notice a difference with me over the next couple of months. I'll try to maintain the content, and I'm sure that will be achievable, but there'll be times when I'm very tired, and there may well be times when I'm doing streams at 2 o'clock in the morning, because that's just the way my sleep pattern goes, but crossing the box from there. Yeah, I think I've told everybody it's a boy, not named yet, third, so yeah. Which is why I reacted like I did today about people. I don't, it's a football channel. Why are people so strange that they think, obviously have an issue with me and this channel, that they think that delving into my private life and putting it all over social media is the way to go. But I suppose in a way it's quite liberating because everybody knows a lot about me now. But I think what they hoped they were going to find is, his name's Steve Jones and he really lives in Nottingham, and he's got a Forest season ticket. He don't even support Forest. He only started the channel because Manchester United are a big club, and he reads from a script. That thing in his ear is a United fan telling him everything. Ain't never going to find nothing, I'm afraid.
You should take it as a compliment, mate.
I do, but you know what? I do take it as a compliment, but I don't take it as a compliment when people are like, when my family gets brought into it. It's nothing to do with them.
You got other people wanting to find out, really delve in to find out who you are.
Your name's not really Mad Marcus, though, surely. I mean, Mad is a first name.
You'd be surprised, mate. I think my mother and father were drunk when they had me, I think.
Stejag FIFA's got it. For those people who are asking what my real name is, he's already got it. It's Marouane Lingard. Everyone knows. Why would I want everyone to know that? Tuanzebe's pushing on a little bit more now, and Fellaini has played very deep in this game. We've sort of played Is Martial. Nice little roll into Mata, but it's on his left foot. Can he get it onto his left? Shoots! Tuanzebe. Good effort. Goes for a corner.
Someone asked me a question then. What was it? FJX9. What is your view on James Rodriguez? Do you think he'll come to United or not? You know what? I would like to see that guy come because he's better than what is in that squad at the minute. I mean, it may put a couple of people down the pecking order, but I think he'd be a good option.
Rooney's got a sweat on.
That shows he's done something, mate, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I've got to say that it's quite warm where I am tonight.
Oh, I tell you what, it is. I don't know what it's like down where you are, but it has been horrible today. It has chucked it down from like 7 o'clock till about 6 o'clock, and there was things I wanted to do because I had a day off work today, and I've sort of had to do different things, which has put me in a bad mood, I think, anyway. But I don't mind a bit of rain, and I know people where they live would probably love a bit of rain. But when it's torrential like that, and it's really torrential rain, it's a bit annoying.
Gazomania, what do I think about the new away shirt? It's all right.
I like it. We're going to give one away, actually. Going to give one away on the Europa League final next week. You've just reminded me. So we're giving away one next week. You can win it. I've just got to think about how we'll do it. We'll pick the winner from the Super Chats, that's for sure. But
is that what it's for? Is it Super Chat?
Not Super Chat. No. God, we don't want you to contribute for it. If you want to contribute to the United Stand, that's fantastic. You can do that through the $ on the Super Chat. But no, you haven't got to contribute to go in for a winning.
No, you just said Super Chat.
I know I did, but I've got to correct myself now because I was doing that today as well. I can't do it, Mick Jagger. But it will pick a winner from the live chats. That's what I meant. So you don't. All you've got to do is be on the live chats to win it, and we'll give it away at half time next week during the final. Unless we're 4-0 down, in which case I won't be able to give anything away. I'll just be absolutely going mad. Al Cato says it's been quite good what we've seen from United tonight. It's certainly much improved than the Spurs game, to be fair.
I am pleasantly surprised it is better than the Spurs game. I thought, with the only difference being mainly Fellaini being in the side and Lingard on the bench, I thought it would be another drab performance. But, we've attacked more in this first half than I think the entire Spurs game.
Well, it's people like Mata and Martial and Mkhitaryan and well, I don't think Rooney's got any chance. But they actually do look like they are playing for a place in the final, which is what we want.
Yeah, I'd say I'd put Phil Jones in that as well. I mean, he's been quite good positionally. He's cleared a couple of balls out of the box.
It's interesting about Phil Jones, though. For those people who want Jones to start over Smalling, obviously I want Smalling to start over Jones. It's very interesting that Jones is playing as the left-sided centre-back.
Yes.
Now, we would expect that to be Daley Blind's spot, so it's probably looking like Smalling, which I would go with anyway, because Smalling's better in the air.
Well, Ajax don't have a lot of height though, do they?
No. Well, I think Dolberg might be quite about 6 foot, but yeah, I don't think they do.
Mourinho doesn't look overly happy, but seems, what's the word? Content, I suppose, would be the word.
Live Nater says, "Do you think we'll move for any Ajax players after the summer?" That's a yellow card. He's pulling his bloody shirt back. Get him in the book. Yes, well done, ref. Good run by Martial there.
I think that's the first run I've seen him do in this first half, just, down the line.
Yeah. Oh, I think he's done okay. I think him, Mata, and Mkhitaryan have all done well.
Well, see, now that Cedric's on the yellow, do it more often there. Go at him. Mkhitaryan's dropping a bit deep in there. Let's get the ball. Not much movement.
I think they're the only places really up for grabs in the United side, are the left and right sort of positions in the team. I think, as I said at the start of the half, Rashford will play up front. If Pogba's back, which I would expect, I think it will be Herrera, Pogba and Fellaini in the midfield three, which, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't play Fellaini, but to be honest, I would hope that he's not going to be that bad that he'll cost us the game. Valencia will be right back. I think it's who's going to play with Blind at centre-back, Diamond in left-back, Romero we know he's playing in goal. So I think the position's really up for grabs are the right side of the sort of right wing midfield, left wing midfield. And it can't be Lingard, but it probably will be. For me, it's got to be Mata and then either Martial or Mkhitaryan.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd want to put, De Gea aside because of the problems that are going on, and I think that what you've just said there is probably the strongest that he could do with. I really hope the final is, we actually see some sort of passion, I suppose is the word, from the team that's out there, and they're not playing it like a normal run-of-the-mill game. It's got to be instilled in the players from Mourinho that this is it. Everything, the whole season is on that game. And some of them, like I said, are going to be fighting for their futures, and because you can say these players that are going to go out the door, they're not going to get that sort of money elsewhere, are they?
I'll tell you what, Tuanzebe's been very neat and tidy in the midfield for somebody of his age as well.
Yeah. He's doing the simple things very well. YGZ, is it at St Mary's? Yes. Ricky Clarkson, boring old game once again. Well, I wouldn't say it's been totally boring.
It's a the problem is there's no needle on it, is there really, for either side? No. But from a United point of view, we are thinking about the final, and I disagree with Mourinho, to be honest, in the fact that he says, it's a hindrance, because I think actually having a game of this sort of style a week before is actually a real positive, because Southampton play football, and as do Ajax, so there are positives with it.
Do you think he should have played a stronger side though, just to keep the legs ticking over? I mean, I know obviously they're doing the training.
I'm surprised Herrera and Mata aren't playing.
I think you'll probably see. I would probably say one or two come on Sunday, just to make sure. I mean, if Pogba's back, I could definitely see him playing some part of Sunday.
Yeah, but the trouble is Sunday's quite close to Wednesday. I would personally just liked to see them just get their game time tonight. I know we couldn't do that with Pogba, but maybe I don't see the point in playing them 3 days before a game. I would have just played. It's like what Chelsea's been doing all season, one game a week, isn't it? And tonight would have been perfect.
Would have been, yeah. Who was that? Let's have a look. What was that? John Maloney. Is De Gea injured, or is it about his future? He's not injured, is he? He's just been dropped completely.
Who?
De Gea.
Yeah, he just dropped.
Yeah. That's a good comment here from Don't Watch That, Watch This. Mourinho can't use fatigue as an excuse because players have been rested. Good one.
He will use it though, won't he? He's overused.
Oh, no, he'll try, yeah. Keegan Baker.
That's it. Right, Marcus, just before half time, I'll have a quick Waz. Is that alright?
Yeah, go for it. I'll read some comments. Go on. Right, Marcel, no, straight away. So look. Irish Rover, De Gea asked to leave, so is rightfully dropped. Yeah, I'd say I'd agree with that. I was always brought up with, you don't ask to leave Manchester United, you get told you're leaving. So, Retro Rube, I love De Gea, but if he's asked to leave the club, I can understand why Romero is playing in the final. Yep, so do I. Casper, you're going to get timed out for that. David De Steyer or David De Goa? What's that, David De Goa? Our crosses are rubbish, Sandy. Yep. Well, we've not been good at crosses all season, have we? Paul Jones, De Gea isn't right frame of mind. Who was that? That was about Gazamania. What is your thoughts on De Gea not playing today? Do you know what? I've got to be honest. It doesn't really bother me. It doesn't bother me at all because these games are meaningless to me. Aidan Landsberg, who would you play as a goalkeeper in the final? I'd stick with Romero. I know Mark says he hasn't been tested, but you know he hasn't made any mistake. Marcus, what changes would you make at half time? I'd bring on that McTominay kid because I saw what he did against Arsenal in the 10-15 minute cameo and I was quite impressed. Jordan Glover, Marcus, shall we change the kits? No. Oh, slash time for Goldie from Gungshi, yep. Star blogger, Joe Hart wangs the move, or is that supposed to be wants the move? Now Mark not here, Mad Marcus, you are better at FIFA than Goldie. I know I am, you ain't got to say that while he's not here, it's the truth. He's Argentina's number one, Jay Reynolds, yep he is. That's a good situation to be in though, isn't it? We've got the Argentina's number one and the Spanish number one. Paul Clayton. Alright mate, yeah.
I nearly didn't come back.
Shout out for Paul Clayton, there you go. Nathan Derman, Marcus' favourite PS4 game. Ooh. At the minute I love the Uncharted series.
What we gone on?
Oh, sorry, just people asking me questions, mate. Sorry, I'm just trying to answer.
I was going to say, we can really tell the interest in this game. I think we're just going to get into all sorts in the second half, aren't we, really? I mean, Ross is not coming on at half-time because he said, I can't get into the game. They can't really comment on it. So I'll let Marcus go and have a little rest and I've had my little there. So
I don't mind, mate. I mean, if you can just do without me 5 minutes while I boil the kettle.
Yeah.
I'll use the microphone and
do the same in the second half, to be honest. But
right, what's this? Sound the man. Hey Marcus, I know you have a voice for radio, but do you have a face for radio? I don't know. Probably not, because I'm getting old now. Romero needs to work on handling. Too many punches when he can catch.
I totally agree with that, Jason.
Yeah.
Born 89. I do. I think it's a massive weakness in his game that people just seem to think, not necessarily for the final. I think every now and again he'll be all right. But if for those people who think Romero can be our goalkeeper, first team goalkeeper, playing week in, week out, no. Because for that reason, exactly what Jason just said there. He punches crosses and you can't do that. You can't do that. In fact, yeah, you just can't do it. But as a goalkeeper playing the cup games, there's no issue with him. But I wouldn't trust him over 38 games in a season.
So that's half time.
Yes, that is half time.
Fantastic.
Yeah. To say, I think to be fairness, I think Tuanzebe had a good half, and let's not forget he's not a centre midfielder. He's played there twice now against decent Premier League opposition, and you know it's difficult to sort of stand out as what a performance, but it's because that position's difficult, as we know with Carrick and Herrera. It's the unsung hero role. But I thought he's doing very, very well. Not put a foot wrong, which is great for a young player. I think Mata, Mkhitaryan and Martial, the 3 M's, have, whilst not being amazing, have been better than average and been good. And I think that hopefully they can take that into the second half, because I would really want... Look, to be honest, that 45 minutes from all 3 of them is better than what Lingard's done for the last 3 months. So I would hope that they can, carry that on and force their way into Mourinho's plans for the final. Fellaini's been okay. Rooney's been okay. Smalling and Jones been okay. I mean, I think it's just been a fairly okay performance from everybody. Not as bad as Sunday, anyway.
No, definitely not as bad as Sunday. But just what you were saying there about Tuanzebe, I think he's played really well for being out of position. He's playing as a CDM, which takes a lot of concentration, a lot of discipline to play that role. And considering he's supposed to be a natural centre back, I think he's done amazingly well.
Yes, I agree.
But I mean, everyone else, like you say, it's just a normal game, isn't it? It's a typical end of season game when there's nothing on the line. More like a pre-season friendly, isn't it?
Yeah, which it was always going to be. I mean, regardless of any situation, you get a lot of games like this. I mean, there'll be a few games like it on Sunday that United aren't. Well, Palace will be the same. neither team with anything to play for. I do sort of agree with a lot of people at this. I hate the closed season because I want United to play. I want to watch Manchester United play. But to be honest, the last few games of the season can be just a total waste of time because there's nothing on it. There's nothing you can go points wise. You're not going to get relegated, get top 4, win the title or anything like that. So they can be a right waste of time. We're fortunate we've got a cup final on Wednesday because it's difficult to get motivated for it. But you've got to sort of get into that mindset of who's performing well enough to force their way into his plans for next week. And I think Tuanzebe's done really well, but he's never going to force his way into the team, is he?
No,
because we've got Herrera and we've got Pogba to come back in. He'll do well to get on the bench, I think, to be honest. I know Mourinho said yesterday that Fosu Mensah's doing everything he can to be fit for the Europa League final, but my first reaction, I don't know what all yours was why? You're not going to put him on the bench anyway. You're going to go with we know you're going to put on the bench. You'll put Rooney on the bench and Lingard on the bench, and there won't be a spot for Fosu anyway. But it's great that he's working back.
There's a difference in mentality, though, from the players, isn't it? You've got a young lad there who wants to be back and playing because in his mind he's thinking, yeah, I've got a chance. If I was back for the last couple of games of the season, there's a slim chance I could force my way into that final squad. And then you've got the 2 centre-backs who couldn't, I suppose can't be asked to get fit is the wrong phrase, but they wasn't willing to go through the pain barriers and push themselves a bit harder to play in the team when the team really, really needed them at that point in time.
Yeah, I'd agree. So, what to come in the second half for Manchester United? Well, the bench is interesting. Will he bring on Herrera and Rashford to just get some minutes in their legs? I mean, what's your thoughts on the Palace game? Do you think he will play anybody who's going to play on Wednesday, or do you think he will just go like he said he would a few weeks ago with a load of like reserves and kids?
Do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I'd like him to play the kids. I really would, just to see what the future holds for us, long term. I know he said he was going to play Nicky Butt's under 23s, wasn't he? And it would be good to see some of them lads come through and see how they do in a big occasion and that. But I've got a funny feeling there's going to be a couple of first-team players in there, and I think rightfully they should be because they're going to need minutes just to make them that extra bit sharper for the game, and just to get them ready. So it wouldn't surprise me if, say, you've got 6-7 young lads out there, and the rest of them as first teamers just to keep them ticking over.
Yeah, I would imagine that that Rooney would play probably on Sunday because he won't be playing in the final, and potentially it's his last game at Old Trafford. I expect Carrick to play because I think he won't play in the final either. I'm trying to think first teamers who might play. Obviously, De Gea's probably not going to play, even though we think he's probably played his last game, which is really sad. I mean, do you think there's any chance of De Gea staying, Marcus? I've said my bit. I think there's zero chance, but a lot of people, over 40% on the poll we did on Twitter yesterday, think he's going to stay. I don't understand why they think that.
I think with the situation as it is now, I think if he was, seeing as he's been completely dropped from this team tonight, I think that's it for him. I really do. And I think it would be all well and good if he actually just come out and said, look, I want to go or I want to stay, and that's it. We know as fans where we stand, the club knows where they stand. But I just think, like Mourinho said in that conference, if people want to go, then he's not going to stand in their way. He wants people to fight for the cause, and he wants the commitment from the players. So, but I mean, I don't blame him, really, if he wants to go. He deserves better. No matter how much you say the team's rubbish, it's a transitional period.
Yeah. I mean, what's your thoughts on the way that his treatment of De Gea? Some people think, well, he wants to leave, sod him. Some people like me think, look, he's made us relevant for the last 3 years, a bad 3 years. He's been our player of the year for the last 3 years. He totally and utterly, it was clearly not a penalty, by the way. He totally and utterly did, and the linesman's bang on level with it. That linesman should be sacked, but it's irrelevant because it's an irrelevant game. But I just think that De Gea deserved to play in the final, but we know that's not going to happen. he certainly deserves to play on Sunday. He's loved by many, many Manchester United fans, and to not be given that through Mourinho's, we know he can be a stubborn arsehole at times. I just think it's really sad.
Yeah, it is sad because he has been a great servant. But I was saying, like, while you took a toilet break, I was brought up with, you don't ask to leave Manchester United, you get told you're leaving. So, I'm 50-50 on it.
50-50. Well, it's good. It's always good to get different opinions. I'm actually surprised this game's on Sky tonight. But the second half is fast coming. Go and get your cup of coffee, Marcus, if you want.
Okay, all right, mate. Give me 2 minutes.
No worries. Sorry, folks. I'm just... thinking about this now. Sorry, I've had a very, very, very demanding day, and not just because of the video that I did. I'm really sad though, you know what I mean? Because I was doing Mick Jagger today, David, and there we go, I got it. Probably not that great if you know who Mick Jagger is, but I was trying to do it, so I've done it. I was doing a bit of David. They're all too old. The timer's still running, says Flashburn. The timer's always running. Another metaphor there. But, 0-0. I would hope to see a little bit more from Mata and Martial and Mkhitaryan in the second half. I really, really I think they're the two positions that are really up for grabs in the Europa League final, are the right side and the left side of our attack. I think Fellaini, Herrera and Pogba will be the midfield three. We know Romero's in goal. We know Valencia will be right back. We know Blind will be left-sided centre-back. I would suspect it will be Smalling to partner him. Darmian at left-back, Rashford up front. So the two positions we don't really know are the left side of the attack and the right side of the attack. My fear is it will be Lingard. It's suicide. It really is. My hope would be Mata, and then, to be honest with you, I'd probably prefer Martial, but I wouldn't be unhappy with Mkhitaryan. But I just don't want Lingard in either of those positions. If he's on the bench, that's fine. But there we go. Am I any good at karaoke? I'm alright. Used to do a bit of karaoke. Johnny Brooks says, please read my message on Skype. Let me see if I can find it, Johnny. I'm not good on Skype. I found it. Have I found it? He says, hey Mark, just wanted to say I'm absolutely disgusted with some of the actions people are taking to try and make your life more difficult. It's because, frankly, their lives, jobs, undertakings are clearly not as interesting as yours, and jealousy, envy is causing them to try and damage what you have achieved since they cannot grow something themselves. Pat yourself on the back, take a deep breath, and know that you've got almost 90,000 watching your content regularly, and none of these arseholes will ever be that relevant. Keep up the good work, Mr. Goldbridge. Please have me on the show sometime. Johnny, phone tomorrow. We'll get you on the Skype show. 8:30 is Skype Goldbridge tomorrow night as a bonus, but we are going to be doing it twice a week from now on. Thanks very much for that comment from Johnny. Look, I don't see it as what I do. I never have. It is your channel, and that is where we are, and that's where we've always been. These things were in place before any of these things that get thrown at us. So, we are the only channel. I don't think we will be full on, but we are the only channel who has a regular call-in show for you lot. And we're going from one time a week to twice a week because that's what we want to promote. It's a fan channel. To be honest with you, we've had Stan Collymore on the show. As people will know, he's been on a couple of times now, and I'd like to get Stan on again. But to be honest, and I can be honest because the stats are there. A video with Stan Collymore on it, with me talking to him, and a video doing a Skype show, you lot win. You get more interaction and you get more views. That is what this channel is about. If I was offered... there's a few I'd like to talk to. Jose Mourinho, of course, we're going to have Mourinho on. Gary Neville, we'll have Gary Neville on. Bex, Giggs, whatever. But if I was offered... I'm trying to think. If I was offered David May... or a Skype show, I do a Skype show every time because I want to know what you've got to say, and that's what this channel is all about. So get involved. Tyrone Williams says Skype Goldbridge should be very interesting tomorrow. Oh, Tyrone, you've got me worried. Why? Oh, Tyrone, you've got me worried. That was the worst Mick Jagger. I've done it. if you sit with me at work, people will testify to this. I can get an accent. I can do an accent well once, but when I try and do it again, it just goes wrong. But why? It's open tomorrow. Whatever you want to talk about is fine. Hopefully a bit about United. Tyrone, I like Stan as well. He is honest and he tells the truth. And to be honest, I haven't asked him on for a while, but I'm sure he would come on. So we might get him on towards the end of the after the season to sort of have a bit of a season review. It's 32 years ago tomorrow that Kevin Moran was sent off in the FA Cup final in 1985. And yes, Chad, you're right. What was that? Awful.
I'm back, bud.
And I thought I could hear you clicking.
What did I miss? Anything?
You missed my Mick Jagger.
Lovely. We'll do it again then. Go then.
I can't do accents when I've done them already.
Oh.
I'll try it. I know it's going to be absolutely rubbish. When I put the pressure on it, it'll be rubbish. And people probably don't even know who Mick Jagger is. But I need to sort of get into it. Oh, David. Rubbish. And I can do David Bowie when I want to. Because sometimes he goes really high. And then he'll go quite high like that. Because I'm David Bowie. And I like to sing when I'm talking as well.
You remember that song they did together, Dancing in the Street?
Oh yeah, David, I do. I loved that one. It was fantastic, wasn't it? There we go.
Oh,
What was it called? Dancing in the Street?
Dancing in the Street, yeah.
Well, there's kids watching this, and I
right,
call kids people in their early 20s, so they'll be like, what the hell was that? Who was that? What was that song? But yes. People are cringing. We're like a couple of old dads, but we are. We are.
We've got 1,000 likes. Thank you.
Yeah, we have got 1,000 likes. It's great. Chad, I've definitely not been drinking today. If I'd been drinking today, that rest in peace Goldbridge thing would have been really interesting because there was stuff I kept back. About the people who've been spreading this that would have just been, I don't want to go down that road, but true stuff about what they've done. Let me just say that. But it's always good to have a few things in your back pocket because I'm sure there'll be a reaction. Mark, have you won the lottery? Says Tyrone Williams. No, I haven't. I do feel quite liberated though. It's quite nice. As much as people think it's funny. Liam says your Mick Jagger impression is cringeworthy. I'm not doing it again, so don't worry.
Just waiting for kick-off then.
Oh, we've got it. We have kicked off. We was having more fun on the live comments, to be honest. It was like the watch-alongs under Van Hal. This is. It's like screw what's going on the pitch. It's all a good old laugh on here. But let me start
doing the watch-alongs in the summer in like 2 a.m. Lack of sleep. God knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to those.
Yeah.
I won't necessarily. Well, I should be able to do them. The trouble is, I think some of them are like work nights, but if I can't do them, I know there's people who will. So some of them might not be that bad. I don't know. I mean, if anyone's in America, do you know what the kickoff time's for? That I know all the fixtures, and I can't remember off the top of my head. I can't remember them, but I do know I've got them. But I can't remember what the kickoff times are, and I don't know what the time differences are. But the kickoff is there. I used to hate the closed season, to be honest, but actually the last few years I've quite enjoyed it because obviously doing the United Stand and that, it's just talking about transfers is great.
Yeah,
good ball into Rooney.
Come on,
Rooney.
Don't lose it.
But it goes really quick. I mean, it's nice when there's a major tournament. Obviously, we haven't got the Euros or the World Cup this year, but you've got Champions League, you've got Europa League next Wednesday. Then there's only 1 week left of May. You basically got June, where there'll be loads of transfer stuff, and then July they're back training, and there'll be a pre-season, and then we're off on the US tour, and then it's all the way through to August. So,
someone's asking you to do an impression of Peggy Mitchell. Oh, you started something there.
Pet. Who's that? It's meant to be, what's his name? Frank Butcher. Pet. What are you doing, Pet? I can't do Peggy Mitchell. I can't remember what she used to speak like. Oi, Ricky, what are you doing? That's a terrible Bianca.
Do you know what? It's nice seeing you have some fun on these shows.
Brendan Tombro is going to LA Galaxy versus Manchester United in July. Well, tell us the kickoff, Brendan, and then we can figure it out. Because I don't think they've issued the kickoff times yet. They probably haven't issued the kickoff times yet. That's probably the problem. I think we all know the actual fixtures, but we just don't know the kickoff times.
You know, the amount of comments that are saying, do this impression, do that impression, you're going to have to make up another show, mate, during the week.
Do Andy from Little Britain. Which one's Andy? That one. Andy. That's the one who speaks with the lisp, isn't it? And or is Andy the one in the wheelchair? Oh, that one.
I think it's the one in...
Andy is the one in the wheelchair. I'm doing his mate. Andy's mate. I'm not good at impressions, so I don't know why people are actually giving them. Just making myself look like an idiot.
I'll do a Rooney impression, apparently, from Nathan.
I nearly said something I shouldn't say there, so no.
Gazomania wants me to do Harry Redknapp, but it's just the accent, isn't it? I'm not good at impressions, unlike Mark.
No, well, join the club.
If I'd had a couple of drinks, I'd do it. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe one night in the summer, Mark, we can just have a show to just kick back and relax on and just be complete idiots.
Yeah. Someone says, do Andy Tate. Well, Andy Tate's an impression of himself, isn't he? He's just one big impression, I think. Andrew Southwark, thanks for the contribution. He says, Mark, thank you for all that you do every week for the fans. Wish modern society wasn't full of keyboard warriors. Keep doing the great work. Well, it is society's problem. I was talking about this the other day. Social media needs to be really sorted out, because it's just... people will say things that they've got no intention of actually going up to and saying somebody's face, and it just allows people... I think it's dangerous what it does, really, because it's sort of comment without consequence. There's great sides of social media. I mean, we're big in social media. All of us enjoy it, especially for football, but the abuse and stuff that goes on there is just... it will get sorted out, because it just can't continue. I mean, I grew up in a world with no mobile phones, so as a kid, so to what you have now, you know... I think the saddest side about it is just what it does to... I don't know, I see. You know, my oldest is not old enough really to be on it, but their use of computers is just massive compared to what it was when I was growing up. And I think it's sad, because when I used to get home from school and it would just be straight... you know, I didn't used to do my own work because I was down outside playing football for 4 hours. Kids don't do that now. You know, around where I live, you very rarely see the kids on the green. That's definitely a foul by Phil Jones right on the edge of the box.
Again. Well, Bay doesn't look too comfortable at the minute. I think he went down a couple of minutes ago, but
So Brendan Tombo says the LA Galaxy game versus United is at 7 p.m. So time in LA now.
I think it's 5 or 6 hours. I think
they are 7 behind. No, they're 8 behind. So that would be 2 a.m. kickoff for us.
Yeah.
That's smack in the middle of, like, it's not like midnight, so you have a late night, and it's not like get up at 4 a.m. to have an early one. It's like smack in the middle of a sleep, isn't it? But we'll do it. We'll do the watch-alongs for that.
No, I think people are more interested in your impressions than this game, Mark, to be honest.
Well, they might be interested in this game in a minute. There's a good chance for Southampton here. I've hardly tweeted anything on Twitter as well. I meant to tweet like what's going on in the game, and I just gave up. But nice little roll. Punching saved by Romero again. I hate the way he does that, but it's effective, and Fellaini clears.
No, I don't mind it. When he punches it, provided he gets some distance on it,
yeah,
it's not bad. But it's always a 50-50, isn't it? When you're going for a punch as a goalie, you know, it could spin off the top of your knuckles or, you know, go anywhere. But, I mean, he seems quite comfortable in his punching, so, you know. Rooney's on a run here. No, not quick enough. Someone wants a Scouse accent, Mark.
Well, not even for a laugh. So we're playing LA Galaxy on July the 15th. 17th we've got Real Salt Lake. July 20th it's Man City. 23rd Madrid, and 25th is Barcelona.
What times are they?
It's just not giving me the times. Might be able to find them.
There we go. Look, Scott Kent's got the name of a new show, the United Laugh Along.
That's just the normal one, isn't it? Most people think we're just one big joke. Yeah, I can't get the kickoff times. They're all just the dates. Well, LA Galaxy is Saturday the 15th of July, which is so we'll have a late one for that if it's 2 a.m.
Right. Hang on a minute. Robert McPhee says the City game is 7:30 p.m. CDT. Madrid is 2 p.m. PDT, and Barca is 7:30.
So Madrid is going to be about 8 p.m. our time, I think.
Yeah.
City is a Thursday at what time?
7:30.
So that will be about
half two
in the morning again. Won't it?
And same with Barcelona, 7:30. So if that's half two, you got to go live at half one.
Piss off! I'm not sorry. I'm not doing an hour beforehand on a watch along at that time in the morning. You can. I'm more than happy for you to do that. I'll just turn up for the first minute for kickoff.
Do you know what? Right? I know you got work in that, but people don't mind. Then I don't mind doing them.
Yeah, well, I might hand them over, to be honest. We'll see how it goes.
Tyrone Woodley says this is boring, coming off. The game's boring. There's nothing at stake, is there? There's nothing to play for. So, I can understand Mourinho saying that the Premier League games, don't want to play them at the minute because there's nothing for them. Right, the Polish Wonder, Washington DC at 7:30, Detroit at 8 p.m, LA at 7:30 local times.
I'm going to write these down.
Yeah, if you would, going back in the summer, Mark, I'm pretty sure I can get someone on to do it with me.
Yeah, I know, they're queuing up, yeah.
I don't mind. The night time is when I'm awake the most, as you know. Oh, good save from Romero there. Quick and alert to that. Headed out by Smalling, but doesn't get no distance on the header.
Suhas says that it's 7 p.m. US time v Barcelona, which is actually 12 a.m. UK, so we can do that one. And let us know if anyone knows what the actual UK times are. That'd be useful. But Southampton are on top at the moment.
Yeah.
If it matters.
I don't think we can drop any lower than 6 now, can we?
No, I don't think we can.
No. Well, I think the only thing we can hope for, well, for me especially, is seeing that McTominay kid come on.
Yes.
So, the substitutions, I suppose, will be interesting. If he brings on Herrera and Carrick or anyone like that, I'd be a bit disappointed with that. Lynn Hall doesn't want Jones or Smalling in the final. Well, we've got to have one of them, Lynn. Unfortunately. Oh, Luke Everson says that Everton are 3 points behind us.
Oh, so we could do it then.
Yeah.
Well, then again, they haven't got a game, have they?
They've only got the one left, haven't they?
So it's probably not going to happen. And if you're Mourinho, you don't want to lose your last 4 games, do you? Well,
no, but to be be honest, mate, if I was the manager, I wouldn't have even put the first team out. Well, the so-called reserves out here. I would have put the kids out as well. But yeah, Southampton are on top at the minute.
Nil-nil written all over this, says Liam. Well, both me and Ross went for draws. I think Ross went 1-1, I went 2-2. I think we can safely say mine's gone. But the way it's going at the moment, I mean, I meant to say it at half-time as well, you know, as much as people have played okay, we have got Wayne Rooney up front, which makes us quite toothless when it comes to they can play a high line. Oh, they're in here. They should have scored. They should have scored. Tuanzebe needs to do better. I think that was... It was a defender who got it on the back post. I don't know who should have been marking him when you watch it back, but he's spun right away, totally unmarked.
Well, it's Tuanzebe that he's caught in two minds there, whether a stick or twist.
Yeah.
You know, he sort of looked at the player and thought, well, who the hell's watching him?
Inexperience of youth. I don't even know if it was his man, but... Josie Mourinho, says Tyrone Williams. I mean... He will get that levelled at him, but all he's going to come out and say, I'm glad it's done. It's not a game I wanted to play, which, you know, it will infuriate people, but...
Yeah, but you can see why he's saying that, though.
I think the only negative I would say about it is that we've got a massive game on Wednesday and we're not playing well at the moment, and that's what you can't just switch it on. Good save by Romero again.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Wayne, this lad's been doing quite well tonight.
Well, he's getting a lot of practice.
Yeah. I mean, you say all you know, you said earlier, I think it was, you know, he hasn't had much to do in Europa, a few long shots and that, but he's had a couple of close range shots tonight. He's done well. He saved the penalty.
I mean, to be honest, that save, he's making it look better than he is. Cause
that's a camera save,
yeah,
that one.
His arms aren't even at full stretch. His hands are close to his head, so it's not a full stretch save, but the penalty was a good save, I'll give him that. Phil Jones did well there.
Yeah.
It's all Southampton at the moment, though. Tony Marshall scores again, says we play really boring football without Pogba.
We can't be reliant on one man, though. We got to find an alternative somewhere.
It's a big summer ahead. That's why we've got to win the Europa League.
Or we need some attacking flair players. People that can turn it on and create something out of nothing. I suppose really, Alexis Sanchez would fit that mould.
1989, Nicky D says, United City on the 20th of July is 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. Real Madrid, 23rd of July is 10 o'clock. And Barca United on the 27th of July, it would be midnight. There you go. United in the stands, Chance wants to know if he can be a moderator. It's not down to me. Got to get into Marcus and Beck's books, really, but they might be quite protective of it. I like United standing the Chance, though. He's a nice bloke. He does do his videos from the ground when he goes to the game. So,
well, you know what? I mean, I'd look at that during the summer because, I mean, you know, going back to what I said earlier, if I'm doing a watch-along or something on the show, you know, I don't expect Beck to be up at that time, so I'll need someone.
There you go. Good little play from United here. Rooney, play it off to Mata. Onto his left, onto Rooney's. In the olden days, that was nestling in the top corner. And Marcel wants to be... As soon as I mention moderator, you're going to get about 100 wanting to do it now. And the problem with the moderator thing is I'd be more than happy to give it. I could just do it now. I know how to do it. But if you end up with... It's like too many cooks in the broth. It gets spoiled because... I remember when Marcus started doing it, he was like little Hitler, blocking everybody. And Tyrone Williams, that's very encouraging. He says, I think Renato Sanchez will join United in the summer. As I was saying earlier, I'm doing on the Mark Goldbridge channel, I'm doing my career mode tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. It'll be live. And my team has got Renato Sanchez in it. and I'd love to see him at United. I wanted him last year, but Van Gaal and Woodward messed it up because they wanted to respect Van Gaal, and we dithered, and we could have got him. But good tackle there by Fellaini. Get it wide. No, he's lost it. Mkhitaryan too weak.
Sorry, for all those people asking to be moderators now, right? When Mark does the videos at 11 o'clock at night, if you're awake on there commenting, I will, write your name down, and in the summer I'll pick from someone. But you've got to be, the main thing is doing these shows at 2 a.m, midnight, whatever the time is at night time. You've got to be awake and fully awake. So, I don't expect 14, 15, 16-year-olds to be up at that time of night, because that's ridiculous.
Riley 3-man, would you want Mourinho out if we lose the Europa League final? No. I'd be very, very disappointed, but I won't be Mourinho out. He's got to be given 2 years.
Right. Carrick's on for Tuanzebe?
Yeah. I'm getting cold.
So I suppose he's just come on for a bit of insurance there, hasn't he?
Yeah. I tell you what, it's been very low for views tonight, and it's been very low. I think we've just got hardcore viewers. I don't think there's many newbies because the subs haven't gone up as much as they normally do either. Oh, Mkhitaryan, I think you've overhit that, but no, he hasn't. He's found Rooney. Will Rooney try it again?
You ain't going to do it again. Oh, look.
But if you are new to the United Stand, bottom right-hand corner is the hologram. Do click the subscribe button and get involved. Obviously, it's a very fun and vibrant community you've found. We're not just live for watch-alongs. We'll be live tomorrow night at 8:30 with the Sky Pin show. Live on Friday night at 8:30 with the preview for the Palace. And 7 a.m. both days, every day. We've got the transfer daily. We're talking about Michael Keane tomorrow. I've not really had a look at what is going on because obviously got the match, but I'll do it for you, and we'll have that tomorrow. United Red Devil says, love you long time, Mark. And Mark Veens wants me to marry him. I don't park my boat in that harbour, unfortunately, and I am married. Tony Marshall scores again. He fooled me then. He says I'm a moderator now with his spanner. That was very good. Very good. Have a pat on the back. Rahath wants Rooney out. TX Productions wants Jose out. And Carrick sub makes no sense. Well, I think Tuanzebe will play on Sunday because I don't think he'll play in the final. So I think he will play on Sunday. So that'll be 3 games in a week for him, which is fantastic. Louise O'Donoghue says that my man Mickey is suffering. They've all been quite quiet in the second half, to be honest. Which is a shame.
Yeah. It's in that period of the game now where it's just playing out time, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he'd be mad. Good running by Martial. Oh, he had him on toast then.
Yeah.
Just lost control of it. Tried to beat him too many times.
That's what infuriates me about that guy, son, a little bit. He can beat the one person. You think maybe he beats 2, but he overdoes it then.
Who said that? Very good comments. It's probably whizzed by. No, GMS Salvation of the Elect says Pogba is very important for United, which he is. Lay off. This should be it. Yep. Oh, Mata. Is it a penalty? It's a late tackle. I don't know what's happened there.
Looked like a bit of a lunge there.
It's a good run by Smalling. It's a good ball in. Rooney, he lays it off. I think this is one of them that you sometimes get on FIFA when you shoot and it's late on Mata.
Very late. But the ball's already gone now, isn't it? So
yeah, it's hard for Mata to score anyway from there, to be honest. He's up. I think Mata's done enough to get into the final team. I think he's been, without being exceptional, I think he's worked really hard. Wazaz wants me to do a Simon Cowell impression. I can't do it. I'm not going to do ones. I can't do any impression, but I'm not going to do ones where there's no hope. Yeah, you'd be very depressed if Wayne Rooney was your striker every week, wouldn't you? I mean, it's just. I don't think he's been shocking today, but he's just not the good.
mean, it says a lot about Rooney when he just, the effort's there from him, but he just hasn't got it no more. He really hasn't. I mean, it was very, very obvious in the Spurs game.
Nathan says, how long till the baby, Mark? Be mid-June is due date, but he's not facing the right way, so that means caesarean. We'll find out tomorrow, actually. So that will probably be early June. Which means I'll have most of June off, which is a good thing, because I think June is going to be when... I was saying this before, actually. You're going to get a little bit of insight here. I suspect Manchester United will do most of their business in June. Mourinho traditionally always does his business early. We've got the US tour in July, and I think Mourinho will get his business done early. So I think we'll be announcing a lot of deals in June. I think the only things that will be happening in July will be players going out. I think the ins will be coming in June.
Just out of
June will
curiosity,
be interesting.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, Mark, how much time do you get off for the baby?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Huh?
But I've got a bit of leave as well.
Oh, Matt's off. Well, I think Matt's done well tonight.
Yeah, Mata for Rashford. I thought he was taking Rooney off.
Well, Matta's got another 70 minutes under his belt. He's gone straight down the tunnel, Mark. Don't look good. That could cast a bit of doubt over his participation in the final.
Oh no, I think he's got to play. I think with Pogba and Herrera back, you'll see much. I mean, the Mata was good anyway, but you'll see much better.
I think we need Mata for that creativity. I think.
Another good comment here. It's actually from Twitter at Man United 53. He says the issue is so obvious. Every time we play, all you see on Twitter is hashtag Dave saves or hashtag Romero saves. It's embarrassing. Summer can't come soon enough. I think that's a really good point. It was very evident under Van Gaal, but it's starting to creep in again. Colonel says, "What's your name of your baby?" I don't know. Give us some ideas, Maron, Jesse. No chance. I've got a couple of ideas, but to be honest, it's very difficult. I've got 2 girls, and with the girls, we always knew. And if this one had been a girl, we knew. But with boys, it's really difficult. There's a couple of names that I always quite liked, but now it's come round to it, because I never thought I would have one. It's difficult. The one name we wanted, we can't use because somebody in the family's already used it. Samuel, which I love. I think it's a fantastic name, but we can't have it. And it was going to be my name. That was nearly my name. And it was going to be my wife's name if it was a boy. So it would have been perfect, but we can't have it because somebody in the family's already bloody used it on their kids. So we've got to think of another one.
You want my
Thinking
advice?
about Marcus.
I was just going to say, mate, wait until he's born.
Yeah.
You'll know the name. As soon as you see him, you'll know the name.
My girls call him Blue at the moment, which is quite funny because it's a boys thing, but obviously being a red, I'm not happy about that. But
while my missus was pregnant with mine, I called Katie. I always used to call Katie Junior for some reason. I don't know why. And with Isabel, I used to call her Junior too.
Oh, what a run by Martial at the post!
Yeah. And over the bar by Mickey.
That was brilliant by Martial. He's got. I think he is sort of playing his way in. It was a lovely run.
Yeah, very straight, dynamic. He's gone for it. He should do that more often, but Forster's nowhere near it.
That's the best bit of play from the game.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I expect from, in my opinion, that's what I would expect from a Manchester United winger, to do that. And he just doesn't do that often enough for me.
Yeah, fair enough. But you could say that about absolutely everybody this season, couldn't you?
Well, you could do, yeah. Yeah, you could do.
God, it's a slow night. It's a slow old night. It's only 72 minutes in as well. God, this is really like Van Gaal days now. I mean, you'd normally be looking up and you'd be like, we're nearly at 90 minutes. It's bloody hell, it's dragged.
Here we go. Look, this is it. Dante Gerrard, right? Fantastic comment here. Everyone gives 0 Fs about this game. We're more interested in names. Right? That's how bad the game is.
I know. It was used to be exactly like it when last season.
Right, Jordan wants to know, is it a boy or a girl?
But yes, it's a boy.
Right.
Virgil for a name, says Danny Collins. And I like the Irish, but makes me think of Virgil Sharkey. A good heart these days is hard to find, so please be gentle with this heart of mine. No one will know what I'm on about unless you were around in the 80s. Abic, name him Duncan. Yeah, I do like that name, but it's DD. You see, my surname starts with a D, so it's like... There's bound to be somebody who still says, I thought it was Goldbridge. Yeah, so I really do like that name, but I don't know what... I think I've mentioned it. I don't think my wife likes it, but...
I was just going to
Nigel for a
say
boy's
then.
name? Nigel?
No.
Mikkel? No, I don't really like... Hype 3 says Anthony, Ryan, Kai, Ty. To be honest, I find them a little bit... I like Anthony, but the others... No, I can't say it because there's probably some people with that name there and it's not fair.
Thomas?
Yes, but again, we know 2 people with that name. Fellaini's going off for Herrera.
Right, well, that's disappointing for me. I thought that kid would have been given a chance to know.
Yeah, well, maybe Sunday. Yeah. I'd be disappointed if he doesn't. He shouldn't be picking first teamers on Sunday 3 days before a game.
Fellaini looks like he's got the same wrong with him as well. Straight down the tunnel.
Maybe
That
they're
could
all
be
just
a
going down
plus.
the tunnel. Drawty wants me to call him Drawty. I would do, perfect. But again, it's the D, isn't it? I can't have double D. I like double D.
Yeah.
Call him Mark. Now that has been thought about, and yeah, my wife's adamantly no way. Drawty Devil says I could call him after his real name. Oh yeah, what that would be? Do you want me to tell the full name? No. That name would also be considered as well because it's the name of my my mate who died last year. But I think for that reason we can't do it. And also my cousin's called that as well. Who we're quite close to.
You're going to try and bring him up in the Manchester United way then? Or are you going to let him choose his own path?
You don't choose in my house.
Oh.
My youngest is she plays football and she's very good and she's got United kits and stuff, so there'll be no choice in the matter.
Oh right, okay. I was saying because you're going to have a problem, mate. If he comes up as a Liverpool fan.
This will not happen because they will have, even my youngest knows that Liverpool are to be hated, so it won't happen. Glenn Island says Mourinho looks worried about Fellaini, so he must be playing the final. Oh yeah, I mean I'm not even going to get annoyed by it. He is playing in the final. It's 100% going to happen.
Well, looks like United are just going to try and keep the ball now and see how they go. Smalling's got tackled there.
Ryan Beauty 21 says, anyone else think United on social media are absolutely embarrassing? Today asking fans to vote for the best celebration, absolute joke. Don't think it helps with the way our club is viewed at the moment. Yeah, but they constantly go on about Ronaldo as well, and I know that winds people up as well. And but to be honest with you, I think Manchester United just do it very sort of They sometimes dabble in a bit of fan interaction, but they try and just keep it quite old-fashioned, I think, in the way media works. I think the more embarrassing ones, I've seen City and Liverpool at times trying to be down with the boys and the girls, trying to be down with it, and they make themselves get mugged off. So it's difficult. I think when you're an official club account, it's very difficult to be, because you've got hardcore fans, as you know, your fanzines, your old school, your locals. You've got your worldwide fans. Obviously, Manchester United's huge with that. You've got your young fans. You've got your fans who don't really relate with things like DAB. So you're never going to please everybody. That's the problem an official account has. I mean, some people can't stand the United stand, but a lot of people like it. You can't. It's very difficult. You're never going to appeal for everybody, are you? So it's difficult, to be fair, to Manchester United.
There are some good names floating about here, mate, on the comments.
Roy, after Roy Keane, so no one dares to bully him.
Someone's just said Sander.
We do like Alexander, to be honest. Yeah. I quite like Troy. Don't really. Maximus.
You start looking into history then, didn't you?
Hector. I did like Hector. Martial and Rashford are virtually playing as a front two at the moment. Well,
that's good to see.
It'd be nice if there was just a couple of late goals, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'll get up, man. No way.
Call him Marouane. Hey, we've gone over it. We were under it for ages. We've got 87,400 subscribers now. It's been bloody slow tonight, I tell you. Another 90 minutes wasted, says Basil Tonic. Yeah, you could say that. It's not been easy to watch. I suppose Sunday will be more interesting because we'll probably see some of the kids, and it's the last game at Old Trafford, so it'd be very interesting to watch people like Rooney's body language and whether that'll be the end of it. Will
we be staying on a bit longer on the Sunday game? Because he should be doing a speech, shouldn't he?
Yeah, we could do, I suppose. What time's kickoff? Is it 3:00?
Yeah. Just normally at Old Trafford, the manager does like end of season speech, doesn't they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just wide.
Close. Yeah. That's another good thing there, like Romero got his angles right there.
I'm struggling to think of what I'm going to say on my match reaction, because it's like, I mean, I know a draw can be quite uninspiring anyway, but it's. I suppose the player ratings will be interesting. Oh, I like these sort of analogies. Evil Duck says this game is like watching a tortoise fight a turtle on top of a sticky bun. A tortoise fight a turtle on top of a sticky bun. That's brilliant. I like that.
What?
Is your mum not watching it tonight, Marcus?
No, she watched the first 20 minutes and said, no, I'm going to watch Vampire Diaries.
She live with you then?
She lives with me, yeah. Yep, wherever I go, she goes.
It's nice. That's a good little bit. Oh. As soon as I start saying that's a good bit of play by United, we lose the ball.
It breaks down.
Sort of give it a few seconds thinking, right, this might come to something.
Go on, Jones, get across, cover Smalling. That's it, well done.
Jones has probably shaded it over Smalling, to be honest, tonight.
I think he's done all right, actually. I mean, again, not fantastic, but he's done what he's needed to do. I think Darmian as well has been pretty solid at left back. I've not seen much come down our left hand side.
Somebody's just saying that Martial's been very slow this year. I think what it is, I think Martial's always got 2 or 3 players on him. He very rarely gets to stretch his legs with the ball. I know what you mean. He doesn't get the ball in front of him enough.
What I said earlier with the shots that we had in the first half, they didn't have much conviction in it. I think could be down to the pitch. It's not playing as a fast pitch.
No.
I mean, just watching these passes here, like the ball's just not got that zip across the floor.
I'd say I mean, I don't know what people think, but I'd say Southampton probably have shaded it, haven't they?
Yeah. I think start the first 20 minutes.
Not that it matters, but
first 20 minutes they were really putting the pressure on. But since the changes, I mean, United look to see a bit more fresher in the midfield. I mean, even the atmosphere at St Mary's here is just, it's nothing exciting, is it?
What a way to spend an evening, a Wednesday evening.
Well, we've had a laugh tonight. We've covered a few out of the ordinary topics. Couple of names for the new shows, couple of ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Onyx Day says goal is coming for Southampton. Christopher Locher actually dozed off for a few minutes.
Oh, well, you know what? I wish I could, Christopher. I've got a load of bloody work to do after this one. Got to go and do all the transfer research. But I'd love to just be snuggled up tonight next to a big pregnant wife. Watching a bit of... I've finished the trip now. I've started Sopranos, but it's about 80 odd episodes. It's not hard to get into. It's just a bit of a slog.
How many seasons have you watched of that?
I'm still on season 1.
Oh yeah. After season 1, mate, gets much better.
It's like most things are like that, though, aren't they? I was saying to somebody about Game of Thrones, the same. Walking Dead, the same. Get through season 1, and it's good. A lot of people still are like, what's this about your Goldbridge name, stuff like that. There's a video out, I know I did it right before the watch-along, it's called Rest in Peace Mark Goldbridge. Mark Goldbridge still is here, obviously, but it is explained in that. And to be honest, it's probably totally irrelevant to 90% of you, and I'm happy that it's totally irrelevant to 90% of you, but for those who are interested, there's a video about it. But it's just your typical nonsense that we get from people who are supposed to support the same club but think they want to monopolise this area, basically. It's going to be 0-0, isn't it? It's going to be fucking 0-0.
Yeah.
Well, we can all look forward to a transfer show tomorrow morning, at least.
They going to be a permanent thing now, Mark?
The transfer shows, yeah. Well, we've done it as a trial for May because it was always going to kick off in June, but I think it's worked really well. I'm enjoying doing the Eric Bailly signing every day, the one that's a bit left field, and then picking up some of the bigger ones. So it's going well. 10 minutes every morning at 7 a.m. It's going good.
Just under 4 minutes left, normal time.
I mean, I know the fans are bored, but the players look bored as well. I mean, that's the disappointing thing for me.
Yeah. Do you think they put on a bit more of a performance than this, considering what's at stake? In the final next week.
Well, I think Romero man of the match is what Sky've done, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't disagree. Would anybody else disagree? I think that one's quite obvious, and that
Yeah.
says everything again. I just totally agree with that. I've got some concerns. I've got a few things I'm going to get off my chest. I'll keep it back for the obviously the match reaction. But what are your thoughts, Marcus, in general?
Well, on the man of the match or overall?
Overall, and what it means with the final coming up.
I think Romero's done enough. I think he does deserve to be in the final. I don't know what's going on with De Gea. I don't pretend to know, but if he's asked for a move, and he's actually said that to Mourinho, then I can understand his reasons for dropping him. Because what's the point of playing someone in goal if he's not going to be here in a few weeks?
Yeah.
So yeah, I can understand that aspect of it. I can understand people saying that De Gea should be in goal, but then you go back to what has Romero done worse? What has he done wrong?
Has he? I suppose the problem will be if he does it in the final, everyone will say, "Oh, we should have had De Gea there," and I hope that doesn't happen because once the decision's been made, the decision's been made, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, any player can make a mistake, and even if Bay was in the final, and he makes a mistake or he scores an own goal, I mean, we're all going to be on his case. Same as if Rashford misses a sitter.
Yeah.
We'll all be on his case. So every player can make a mistake. But for this game overall tonight, I think it's been a bit. It's a typical pre-season game, this, for me. We had a couple of chances. We showed that we wanted to win the game. Southampton have showed they wanted to win the game. They've come out and they've played. A better performance than what it was against Spurs on Sunday, which was good to see. But I would have liked, hopefully, if that Tomley kid gets some sort of game time on Sunday. I wouldn't be surprised to see De Gea start Sunday either. Just to give him his, farewell thing. Well, there's nothing on the game Sunday, is there? Nothing's at stake, so.
Well, I think we'd have lost this game if it wasn't for Sergio Romero, to be honest.
Yeah, you think so, do you?
Yeah.
4 minutes added on. I think for me, this game as well, very reminiscent of the games at Old Trafford. Just failed to score. It's a draw as well, isn't it? So.
Yeah.
I mean, confidence-wise, Romero's confidence should be sky high after his performance tonight, I think. Tuanzebe did well, playing out of position.
Yes, there are. I mean, there's a few positives. I mean, Tuanzebe, you're never going to see him, in that position as well. It's very hard to be like, oh wow, they were amazing, because it's always centre defensive midfielder is always a bit of an unsung hero role. But in general, I think that it just surprises me, and I think it's I'm going to talk about it in the match reaction. But there's a few things that surprise me about that performance today, considering we've got a final coming up. Rashford's offside there. I thought we might get a bit of a chance late on.
See, looking at Rashford's run there, the ball just seemed like he was moving too fast for the ball. It just couldn't keep up with him, which then would prove the pitch is playing on the slow side.
Yeah, well, you said that, didn't you?
Yeah.
But I'd agree with that.
Are people saying on the comments, Jose parked a tank? I wouldn't say he hasn't parked a bus, not at all.
Well, I'm going to pick up on this on the live match reaction, I think, because it's better suited to that. But get thinking, folks. What's your real thoughts on the game? Is it acceptable because we've got a final in a week's time that before the score doesn't matter? It's all about just going through the motions, is it possible to just switch it on and switch it off? I mean, when was the last time we actually played well? When was the last time we played well? That's a concern, isn't it? Probably Burnley away. It's a long time ago, isn't it?
Mm.
It's a long time, and it's a lot of minutes to go through the motions. And I'm not too sure that we're just going to be able to switch it back on.
I don't know. I think if these players, Pogba and Mkhitaryan, Martial, Mata, if they can turn it on, then next Wednesday for them is the game to turn it on. So it'll be interesting to see if these players, Pogba especially, if he can just come straight back into the team and put in a really good performance, especially after what he's just gone through as well. So, I mean, people could say it's a bit of a risk playing Pogba because maybe his mind, won't be in the right place.
Yeah. Just want to check something actually. I know we're near the end, but Manchester United. This point will mean that we can't be caught anyway because we're 4 points ahead of Everton, not 3. But this will be our 15th draw of the season if it does end as a draw.
Well, that's evident. We need a hell of a clinical striker.
15 draws, which is it's 5 ahead of the closest one, which is Stoke, and Liverpool have drawn 10, so it's 50% ahead of most teams.
I know people say everyone. Well, I assume the majority of the fans want Griezmann there, but I think the main priority for us this season is to get an out-and-out striker. And if we've got the money, I would chuck the money at it and say just get the best one available.
Yeah, definitely.
I know you said Aubameyang this morning. I think it was. And you mentioned Arcadi.
That's it. We're done. Well, thanks for coming on, Marcus. I've enjoyed it as ever.
No worries, pal.
Entertaining, actually. But I'll speak to you in a moment. But thanks for coming on, and I'll speak to you soon, pal.
Okay, thank you, everyone. See you later.
As per usual, I've got a few things to say. It will be interesting, don't worry. It'll be far more interesting than that 90 minutes. But there are a few concerns I want to touch about. I've opened up the link. It's called Southampton versus Manchester United 0-0. Romero saves Mourinho's blushes. That is on the United Stand channel. You just got to click United Stand. You'll see the video and the live comments is open there. I'll be over there in about 60 seconds time to start. I'm all ready and good to go. So I'll see you there in a minute. Player ratings, thoughts. Obviously, Europa League is quite important at the moment, and I've got a few things that are concerning me, as I'm sure are concerning you. So get over there, give us your thoughts. What I want to see in the live comments on the match reaction, well, I want to see them there when I get there because it will allow me to read while I'm setting up. Is it concerning you, our form at the moment? Can we just switch it on or off? I'll see you in a minute on the match reaction.